Today, 888-9-WIN-NOW. Get you this pick absolutely free on a recorded line. 888-994-6669. We are 6-2 on college football false favorites this year. 5 outright wins at an average price of plus 180, and this price today blows those away. It's free on a recorded line. 888-9-WIN-NOW. That's 888-994-6669. Plus, you've been hearing me speak about this for 20 years. Treat sports wagering as a business and an investment. I have my third chip game going today. That's my Chris Hodge insider play. This will be the last one in college football. We're 2-0 already. So call right now. 888-9-WIN-NOW. That's 888-994-6669.
This program was paid for by 1220 Enterprises. The opinions and views expressed are not those of local stations. Prior results do not guarantee future outcomes. Use of this information in violation of any federal, state, or local laws is prohibited. If you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Makita's built for the pros who show up early, who don't do shortcuts, only precise cuts. With tools built to last. Job after job, year after year. Performance that pays off. Because when the job calls for the best, you answer. And when you need the best, you call on Makita. Built to be the best. Available at the Home Depot.
Oh, no.
Ah, that's the sound of someone who's misplaced
My debit card.
their debit card.
Where'd I leave that thing?
Not at the gas pump, or the checkout counter, or the roof of your car. Now, if he has the Chase mobile app, he can use Card Lock.
Wait, I could just lock my card.
Yep, just a few tippy taps on his phone, and that sound, that's peace of mind from Chase.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank N.A. member FDIC.
You're listening to 95.7 The Game, KGMZ FM in HD1 San Francisco on Odyssey Sports Station. Always live on the free Odyssey app, Twitch, and YouTube. Powered by First NorCal Credit Union. Live from downtown San Francisco, this is 95.7 The Game.
All right, good morning, everyone. It is Warriors this week. Evan Giddings, Dan Devone. I am so glad to see you, Dan, because 7 days ago, when you and I sat here looking at each other, pouring deep into our pupils, we discussed a team that was shaken, a team that had a daunting road trip coming up, a team that you didn't know what was going down and what was going to happen. And I guaranteed you at least a 2-2 week. I guaranteed you a 500 week. They'd beat the Pacers and they'd steal one from the Spurs. Well, damn it, I was wrong. Because they took 2 from San Antonio. What's up, Dano? Good morning.
Good call. Good call. I wasn't there with you.
Well, I didn't think they'd beat both of them. Or win both of them.
I mean, you know what? This might be the most turbulent. I mean, how long have we been doing Warriors this week? The last 15 years?
It feels like it.
I don't know that we've experienced a week like this. Think about where it started off, right? You could see the wheels were coming off, and then that win against Indiana. Like, that was one of the most lethargic, one of the ugliest rock fight wins that I have ever witnessed. And then, of course, they get smoked by OKC. There's the internal fighting, and you're like, that's the end of that. Who the hell could have anticipated what took place the latter part of the week?
I sure couldn't have. You're so right, though, that like the Indiana game, we'll get into all of them at some point, but the Indiana game was probably the worst 30-point blowout I've ever seen. So I'm sitting there watching the Sunday night game and the Warriors game at a bar with my brother, and it's like 65-65 in the third quarter. We're going, what? They're playing with their food. Thank you, pasta. And we get back to the crib, watch the rest of the football game. I checked the Warriors score. They won by 30 points. Like, there's no chance they beat that team by 30.
Yeah, that made no sense. Because if you watch for the first 3 quarters, it was about as ugly as basketball gets at the NBA, especially for the Warriors.
And obviously, Steph Curry did not play in that game.
Right.
But then he returns for OKC, and I was filling in for Guru that day with Steiny, and I'm sitting there thinking that they're going to be competitive tonight, right? Like, this is a team that has to prove something. Curry's coming back off the illness. And you're going into the Lions' Den, the defending champion's house. You got to prove something. You at least got to play well. They just got absolutely dominated. Like, OKC, last week you said don't be surprised if the Spurs win a championship, or maybe that was 2 weeks ago. Don't be surprised if the Oklahoma City Thunder break the Warriors' regular season record this year. That's all I'll say. Do not be surprised if they win 74 games.
They're ridiculous.
They're unbelievable.
Their defense is ridiculous. But I think in defense of Steph Curry for that game, he was a bit winded. Yeah. I think that he was coming off of that weird flu. His minutes were really limited. And then we saw, of course, the real Steph, the vintage Steph. And that, right, isn't that the Steph story and sort of the Warriors story, collectively, that when they have rest, especially with the poster child, Steph Curry, you give him a couple of days off and you see what happened. Really, just to get back to OKC, they're doing this without Jalen Williams.
And they beat the Warriors also without
Lou Dort. Who's not playing. Don't forget he had 40 in Game 7 against the Indiana Pacers. You're talking about their second-best player, arguably, him or Chet Holmgren. He hasn't played. I mean, the depth on this team, maybe we can get back to OKC because we should focus on the Golden State Warriors, but I do want to circle back to sort of OKC.
It's an important game, though.
Well, in the place and time, right? When you think about the Warriors when they're on that 5-year run, they were the best team in basketball. And I remember, 2016, 2017, the beginning of the year, you could pencil them in the NBA Finals. Like, everything that you did throughout the regular season, if you were somebody other than that of the Golden State Warriors, was just an exercise in futility because you knew how this was going to end. And you get excited, oh, Dallas won 3 in a row, let's do a show, or hey, we've turned a corner here. But you knew who was the big bad bear was waiting for you. And no one was getting past the Warriors with Kevin Durant, even before Kevin Durant. And that was 5 years of that. Are we in one of those right now, but it's replace the Warriors with OKC? Like, we can get excited about the Warriors. I'm sure there's shows out in Houston. I'm sure they're not Dallas anymore, but I'm sure that, there's other teams, Minnesota, they're like, hey, man, we've got it. We could. But Denver. At the end of the day, you're like, yeah, no one's beating them.
Well, that's why I think I was having this discussion with someone before the season, and they were saying, who's your NBA champ? And I really, you hate predictions, but I'm not a big fan of them. I said, okay, give me OKC. Like, they're just the safest bet on the board. Some people might like Denver. They got a little bit better this offseason. Some people in the Bay might like the Warriors because, they got a little bit better, so to speak, and they got this guy named Wardell. And some people might like Houston, Everyone must answer to the Oklahoma City Thunder. And the reason why I would also throw out that they may win 74 games this year is because, number one, they will get Jalen Williams back. They will get Dort back. They didn't even have Wiggins in that game, who's a player for him, too. But the thing is, they won 68 games last year. And I know this is a Warriors show. We'll talk about Golden State. They won 68 games last year. Chet Holmgren played 30 of them. He had the hip injury that he got hurt against Golden State the first time they met. That sidelined him for the majority of the season. And they still ran the table in the regular season. So, to me, the Warriors, the last 2 games, that restores the confidence, the balance, especially on the heels of what we talked about last weekend with which way are they going, what can they do, how can they adjust, and there's a lot of stuff we got to get into. But it's the reason why everyone, I don't care if it's in the West, the East, in the NBA, they must answer to the Thunder. I think Curry even said it last night. They asked him about I don't know if you're watching on Prime, but Dirk, Blake Griffin, Udonis Haslem were all talking to Curry after the game, and Dirk said something like, well, tell me what happened OKC into the last 2 games. And Curry goes, everyone gets blown out by OKC.
Well, that's just it. You would think if you blew out the Warriors and you win that by 30-plus points, the next night they got the LA Lakers. And the Lakers, say what you will, have been a very good basketball team. And you're thinking, well, Lakers got a shot. They're playing well. Your guard's going to be a little bit down. There's got to be a hangover, right? Something you're very familiar with.
Not today.
There's got to be somewhat of a hangover.
Hey, I'm 2 for my last 2.
I know what's going on here, man.
Well, I was up until 11:30 doing postgame last night.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's the way to keep you off the streets.
Yeah, I know. I couldn't get out last night.
But okay, so you think there's going to be somewhat of a hangover. They smoked L.A. And Luka Doncic was like, what the hell is going on here? He had his season low. It was 19. But their defense just collapses on everything. And that's when you know something's up. And they smoked the Warriors, and then the next time they're playing the Lakers again. The Lakers have been playing very, very well, and the Lakers have this game circled. That thing was over after a quarter.
Yeah, it was a joke. They had both of their big boys, too, Reeves and Luka. Just to quickly put this in perspective, the 2016-17 Warriors, the best team that I've ever seen, with Durant, obviously, and Curry, Clay, Dre, Iguodala, they had a net rating of roughly 12.5, right? Supposed to give you an idea of how good teams are. Average points per possession, they're 12.5 points better per 100 possessions. That team was. OKC's at 15.2. So right now they're playing better basketball than that 2016-17 Warriors team. As for last night, Dan, so I'm actually glad that you told me this before the show, because you're flying in. I appreciate you coming in, doing the show with your boy. You didn't get to see in real time like how quickly the game shifted because you were getting off your flight, correct?
Right.
So where did you pick up, and then when did you find out what eventually happened?
Start of the fourth quarter. So I got home, I would say, at about 10:30, and I popped in the rest of the game. I was like, I did not see this coming. Not in a baseball series when you're nip and tuck, and especially going into that fourth quarter, the Spurs are making their run. They go up by 10 in the fourth. Like, there's no way. I can't, to be honest with you, I can't really get my arms around this team. I mean, I can, and we'll get into that, but really difficult when you think about the last time you and I were together to where we're at today and the body of work out of the Golden State Warriors and trying to figure this team out going forward.
Well, the last two games, it's like the equation's been 30 equals 30. You know, if you're looking at you don't have to do 2 times 4 bracketed and then divide it by 6 with an exponent of 4. There's no math that's involved in regards to the last 2 wins. It's equals 30. While I do believe that that's going to have to change at some point, you can't keep doing that every night. That's also why I was left feeling last night, Dan, like in one breath stunned, but also he always finds a way to do this. It's just a matter of how and when and why and where. But he kind of, like you saw Jordan, like he's got a little bit of that. His team, if they're within striking distance, is not going to lose. Like when it was, so they go down 10 with 7.5 left roughly after the Warriors get they get fouled 6 different times in a span of, or they foul 6 times in a matter of 1 minute. And it's because they're playing small. You know, Draymond's trying to guard Wemby. Jimmy Butler, I think, got an over-the-back foul or a loose ball foul. Steve Kerr is getting texts on the sideline. It looked like the Warriors were losing their cool. And then, boom, 10 straight from Curry. And he cuts it to 5. And then he gets a little bit of help. Like, that's the other part, too. Is there were some big shots by other Warriors. GP2 hit a big 3.
Where did that come from?
Out of necessity, Pods hit a big 3.
Couple.
Well, so GP2 hit 2, Pods hit 1.
That deep one from out in front.
Pods, yeah, that was a big shot to cut it within 1. Pods also had the drive and kick to GP2 in the corner. I think it's the first time I've seen him go by anybody this season. But he does it at a right time, and then Curry basically does the rest. And it's just like you're watching that game, and there's no way. Oh, there's a way. And because the Spurs also hit a couple shots, too. The difference was at the end, Warriors had Curry, and the Spurs had De'Aaron Fox.
Yeah, I get the feeling that, is it a bit of a bubble? Or is this a little sort of like empty calories, whatever the proper euphemism is here? Is like, are we still where we were at like a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, that it's Steph Curry and we go as far as Steph takes us? I mean, can this team win when he's not going for 40 plus? I think is the question going forward. And I know Jimmy Butler was supposed to help, and he has to a certain degree, but his consistency, you can clearly see that he doesn't have the legs like that of a Steph. He's a year or two younger, but he does not have the energy like a Steph Curry. So is it still this team will go as far as Steph will take them? I was hoping that the supporting cast was going to get a little bit better, but it looks as though we're sort of right back at square one. And I don't mean to throw water on the last 2 wins, but when I look at that win against the Lakers to open up the season, where Steph was okay, but it was so well balanced, including Jonathan Kuminga, that was something to buy into. This, albeit amazing that they won the last two against San Antonio, but still, it's very reminiscent of what it is that we've experienced over the last couple of years.
Well, that's why there's a natural euphoria anytime you're watching Curry do what he does. And I saw something that Bill Simmons said, I think might have been 2 nights ago. Did you see Jokic go for 55 against the Clippers?
Yeah.
So he had 33 in the first half.
Clippers are just terrible.
Yeah, I know. Those guys are cooked. Although they might have gotten better. They lost Bradley Beal for the season. So Jokic goes for 55 on 23 shots, and Bill Simmons says something like, I think Jokic is the guy that I would drive to see more than anybody else in the league. And to be fair, it's between him and Curry. If you're going to see one player, you'll drive wherever on a Tuesday night in Orlando, you're going to go see that guy. And each and every time someone says something like that, I'm not saying he has receipts and he does this on purpose, but it's there's just always a constant reminder that the best show in sports has and will be this year, at least for the foreseeable future. It's Steph. And it's just crazy because he's 37 years old and he's going up against this physical freak. I think that's also part of it too, Dan, is watching the physical difference between him and Victor Wembanyama. Wemby is 7'5", and apparently he's still growing. And he had some unbelievable plays in that game. The block on Jimmy, but I don't know how he got to that ball. Butler uses half his ass to try and ward him off, and Wemby just reaches across what looked like the entire restricted area to block him.
You mean the 2-on-1 with him and Curry?
Yes, where Curry that was a beautiful behind-the-back pass. And I'm like, oh, they got two. Wemby just defends Steph, slides, and erases that shot just like my dad used to do to me when I was 6. You know what I mean?
Daddy blocks.
Exactly. He had, I think, 3 or 4 of them last night. He also had 2 on Draymond. Ooh.
What was Draymond? Draymond's challenging him, though. Butler's, you can see. Draymond's going to get personal. Me, of all people, is going to... Zion can't do that. Draymond, my God. What the hell are you thinking?
I don't know. Hold on. I want to say... So, obviously, Draymond was matched up primarily with Wemby. He did a really good job defensively.
Hell of a job.
But Kerr literally matched his minutes with Wemby. When Wemby came out, Draymond came out, back in, vice versa, except when Draymond picked up 6 fouls. Draymond, over a 2-game period, shot 4 for 22.
He was brutal.
And I'm left thinking that he played pretty well.
Yeah.
But there's just nothing you can do. There's absolutely nothing you can do when that man is standing in the paint. He altered... Whether because of a block, a contest, or just his mere presence, that guy alters so many shots. And so that was part of it too, right? Yes, Curry was unbelievable. And we'll get into the sustainability because I'm largely with you there. But watching those two guys, one old and small, one young and bigger than we've ever seen in the NBA. And it's the older, smaller guy who's the best player on the floor. Yeah, maybe not on both ends, but he impacted the game to the point where he just, they were down 10 and he just goes, all right, time to turn it on. Step back, 30-footer, gets to the cup, little 18-foot Jimmy on the left side. He obviously had 18 points in the third quarter, too, so it wasn't like he just turned it on in the fourth. He had 2 relatively complete games. He was the only reason that they were in it in the first half because he had 18 points. He had 4 threes. The rest of the Warriors didn't hit 1. So you're right. It's the Curry show, and I also believe that you are correct that if they're gonna find a way to just survive the regular season, it can't be just him.
And we already know this, but he finishes so well, and it wasn't only creating the space on the threes, but when he was going to the rack, we just take this for granted. He kisses so high off the window to avoid players that are 3, 4, and in the case of Wembanyama, 4 feet taller than he is. It's remarkable what it is that he does in terms of his touch, but it's just you get that feeling that it's closing time. Here comes Steph, and it's palpable. You're you know how this is going to end. It's just one of those. Wow. At the end of the day. It also sort of reminds me, just to get off the game for a moment, you're talking about one of the greatest athletes, if not the greatest athlete over the last decade plus, right? Maybe Patrick Mahomes and him. and he ends his relationship with Under Armour. It had to be one of the most bizarre sort of sponsorships. Here's the most marketable athlete in the world. It's like, I guess, the Curry 1 or 2 sold a little bit, but I can't remember any of his shoes. How many Curry commercials can you point at and say, oh, yeah, that was tight. I remember that. What the hell was Under Armour with the most marketable? We talk about this all the time, not only on the court, but off the court, a genuine good guy. What were they doing the last 13 years?
Under Armour was built on Steph the way that, and not to the same extent, but the only reason Under Armour is relevant is because of Steph Curry. In the way that Nike just built the foundation of its empire on Jordan, right? I mean, Nike eventually became basically the monopoly it feels like it is today. But the only reason and Under Armour now, I think they have I don't even know if they have Bryce Harper. I can't name you a couple more Under Armour athletes. I can name you a couple Curry athletes because one of them played for the Spurs. De'Aaron Fox is a Curry brand athlete.
Yeah.
He's so big that he's got other athletes wearing his shoes while he's playing. And it was cool last night. I think he wore some Kobe's during warm-ups, some Nikes, which I'm sure they're putting together a offer. By the way, as an aside, do you know why he didn't sign with Nike originally?
Oh, I think I know this story.
Because
it was his teammate Kent Bazemore, right?
Well, that might have been part of it. But
the meeting,
yes,
was it with Nico Harrison?
Yes.
Go ahead, I'll let you.
In Oregon, he goes to the Nike headquarters, and like any other athlete, they got a pitch for him, so they got this PowerPoint presentation set up, and it's Wardell the first, Wardell the second, and so it's Pops and Son sitting there. And on Pops' screen, a picture of Curry and a name, Kevin Durant. They didn't change the PowerPoint when they were selling them on their stuff and their vision for him. And so he goes,
I'm out.
Thank you, Goo. I'm out. And he goes to this little company, Under Armour. They give him a nice little package. I think it's at one point he was making $20 million a year.
Yeah.
And the funny part was he actually just signed a massive deal, an extension in 2023, which I was reading was going to be, by the time it's all said and done, worth up to $1 billion. And he opts out of that, and now he's a free agent. And oh, by the way, the 2 days that he is, I guess he technically became a free agent, was it yesterday? 2 days ago. His first game as a free agent, he drops 49. I don't know if there's a better PowerPoint presentation to sell himself to another shoe company.
So I don't know how much credibility there is to this, but apparently after that meeting went awry with him and Nico Harrison, who at the time was a rep for Nike.
Mm-hmm.
So he's like, yeah, I'm out on Nike. And so his teammate at the time, Kent Bazemore, Steph goes to his old man and is like, Kent Bazemore's with Under Armour. He gets all his free stuff, man. It's like they keep giving him a bunch of stuff. I think I'm going to go with them. But that just goes to show you who it is that was aligning with Under Armour at the time. It was the Kent Bazemores of the world. And can you imagine when you get the call from Steph Curry? It's like, hey, you got a spot on the roster for me?
That's so great. And in the meantime, we have the best producer in the biz because one Stephen Pasta Risotto has found the sound of why Curry parted with Under Armour.
Just in the best interest of both parties. The sneaker industry is difficult. And like I said, things change over time, and to the point of you give your best effort to, create something sustainable. And a little disappointing knowing how it turned out based on, where Curry brand has been the last 5 years and the announcement we had 2 years ago. But I think it's the right thing for everybody. For me to be able to take the opportunity with Curry brand and what we've done in the community, what we've done from standing for something, changing the game for good is our tagline, and hopefully having something to show for it down the road. I'm excited about that.
How do they bleep that up if you're Under Armour?
You got to go out of your way. But I just think it's so weird that he ends a 13-year relationship. There should be at least one commercial we could point at, but there's got to be. It's like, what have they been doing with the most marketable athlete in the history of sports? Pasta, by the way, can we hear from you? What's going on?
What's up, Steve?
Hi.
Oh, my God.
How you doing,
Turn
Dan?
that mic off.
Good to see you, Dan. Good to see you, Evan.
Well, he was here last night with me. Quietly, Poston's been gaining confidence.
Well, rightfully so.
Well, but I'm not sure if
I'm
it's...
a fan. Can I be your agent?
Sure. I don't have one right now, so you could step in and do those duties.
I'm not so sure this power is not going to his head. He comes in last night and he's jovial and he's joking and he's throwing the ball around this morning with you. Pasta's quickly gaining some steam here. And I'm just saying, watch out. Just watch out for him.
It's a talented young man. Although I would say this, Pasta, stick to the pen. I mean, you could do this, but you'd be selling yourself short. There's not enough people that are quote-unquote scribes, and there's not enough people in your generation that are focused on the written word. Like, writing is a lost art.
100%.
And we need more people like you. Like bozos like me could scream into a microphone and say, let's go out to the caller in line 2. But guys like you're a necessity. No pressure, though.
Taken.
Yeah, if you don't keep it up, we're going to be illiterate.
I have an agent now.
Exactly.
Well, I read. I don't write. Those are two very different skills.
No, they go hand in hand. It's why you're so articulate. And you, somebody of your generation that reads, is a voracious reader like you are, is also something that we don't do. I don't read enough, but I think people of your generation are head down. I always talk about head down, and then they're just consumed by their tablet, and everything is fragmented. Everything they get is within a 20-second clip. And if it's any longer than that, well, my attention span's gone. And so the art of reading is also lost in all of this.
Let's read a couple text messages from the Boxer and Gerson working to return his text line. So why did he wear Nike last night? That was, I think, an ode because he's a free agent, so Curry could finally wear another shoe.
Did you see his shoe came off at one point? I wonder if that was by design.
Well, no, I don't know if it was or it wasn't, but he did wear his own shoes. He wears Curry shoes during the game. And then he switched, I want to say, someone on Twitter said he switched after the first quarter. I thought it was at halftime, which I thought was interesting because, of course, he scores 31 in the second half. But he did wear his own Curry brand shoes once the game started.
But his shoe came off at one. I don't know if he was trying to draw attention to the fact of what the subliminal message was there, but it was almost like he kicked it off when he was at a free throw. And I've never seen that happen. I've never seen one of his shoes come off. And it just so happens to coincide with the day after the news breaks that he's no longer with Under Armour, and his shoe comes off at the free throw line.
Well, I do have to say this before we hit our first break. Everything that Curry does is purposeful.
Well, there you go.
Even last night, when he hit, I forget which three he hit, one of 9, but he ties Michael Jordan for the most 40-point games by someone after the age of 30. 44 of them. Ridiculous. And he goes down the court and he throws up the 23. Like, he knows. He knows exactly where he is, where he's at, within, obviously, a very competitive game. Although I think he said he threw it up the wrong way, so it looked like 32. But like everything that he does is on purpose. So while I think that in the moment it looked like, a shoe just came off, if he said after the game, yeah, I did that on purpose, I wouldn't be shocked.
Well, he'll never admit it, but there was some sort of a subliminal message going on there.
All right. 888-957-9570 is the number. Warriors this week. We're taking your calls. We're taking your texts. I see it on the YouTube chat powered by First NorCal Credit Union as well. Where are you at with the Warriors? 2 awesome wins. Early game of the year candidate last night in San Antonio with Curry going for 49 on the heels of 46. Where are you at with the Warriors? Do we got to get real on the other side? I also do want to talk about, because we didn't have a chance to discuss it, Dan and I, Draymond Green, his message, where it came from, the residual effects of it, and what it means for the Warriors moving forward. All that ahead on Warriors This Week on 95.7 The Game.
The NBA season's rolling, and DraftKings' newest game, Pick 6, is the easiest way to play for your shot at big wins. NBA stars are lighting it up. Now their numbers aren't just highlights. They're your shot to cash in. Here's how it works. Just pick more or less on 2 or more player stats. The better your picks, the bigger your payout. New DraftKings customers get $50 in Pick 6 credits with just a $5 entry on your first pick set. Don't just watch basketball. Pick, play, cash in. win. Download the DraftKings Pick 6 app now and use code THEGAME. That's code THEGAME. Play just $5 and get $50 in Pick 6 credits. Make the call. Ride the upside in partnership with DraftKings Pick 6. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Must be 18 and over. Age and eligibility restrictions vary by jurisdiction. Void where prohibited. One per new customer. Bonus awarded as non-withdrawable Pick 6 credits that expire in 14 days. Ends December 2nd at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Time. Terms at pick6.draftkings.com/promos.
What if you had the smartest Wi-Fi? If you did, it'd be Xfinity, of course. And it'd come with their best state-of-the-art equipment. It would boost speeds to the devices that needed them most, prioritizing your most important connections, whether you were streaming, gaming, or gaming while pretending to work. And it would let you stream 4. That's right, 4 games on one screen. It would even power your mobile connection so you could bring faster, secure Wi-Fi speeds with you where you use it most. It would be proactive and fix problems before you knew you had them. Impressive, right? And it would have security features that protect you from threats at home and online. Kinda like a force field for your life. If you had the smartest Wi-Fi, well, everything would work together seamlessly to keep you connected, no matter what. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply.
Elevate your kitchen at the Mila Innovation Center at Friedman's Appliance in Pleasant Hill. Out of your dreams and into your kitchen. Select the qualifying built-in kitchen appliance package that is right for you. With unrivaled technology and luxury-grade quality, when you bring home a Mila, you're bringing home true innovation. Now, for a limited time, save up to 10% with the purchase of a qualifying Mila kitchen package. Visit the Mila Innovation Center at Friedman's Appliance in Pleasant Hill or at friedmansappliance.com.
Tune in to 95.7 The Game this Monday for Monster Mondays, where they discuss the red and gold, how they played, and where they're heading for the next game. Presented by Merit America. Visit them at meritamerica.org/super. The following is an attorney advertisement. If you get sidelined by your workplace injury, the workers' compensation attorneys at Boxer and Gerson can help you get back in the game. Our team of skilled attorneys will fight by your side for the treatment and compensation you deserve. We care about justice for injured workers. That's what makes us Northern California's premier workers' comp law firm. Call Boxer and Gerson at 510-835-8870 or visit boxerlaw.com for a free consultation. Boxer and Gerson, your life is worth the fight.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility, he knows keeping the line up and running is a top priority. That's why he chooses Grainger. Because when a drive belt gets damaged, Grainger makes it easy to find the exact specs for the replacement product he needs. And next day delivery helps ensure he'll have everything in place and running like clockwork. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
You think you understand how this business works, but you don't.
Landman, TV's biggest phenomenon, returns to Paramount Plus. From Taylor Sheridan, co-creator of Yellowstone, starring Billy Bob Thornton.
You have to know the rules of the game and bend them. And you really have to know them to break them.
Demi Moore.
I want success. Get it for me.
Andy Garcia, Ali Larder, and Sam Elliott.
You don't even know the game you're playing, do you?
Landman, new season, streaming November 16th, only on Paramount Plus.
Oh, hey, welcome to gift wrapping. Whoa, Zoe Saldana.
Hey, can you wrap these, please?
Wow, iPhone 17s. You splurged.
At T-Mobile, you can get 4 iPhone 17s on them. It's the perfect gift for everyone.
I'm the worst. I only got my mom a robe.
Well, it's better than socks.
So I have to trade in my old phone, right?
No, at T-Mobile, there's no trade-ins needed when you switch. Keep your old phone or give it as a gift.
Incredible.
In fact, wrap up my old phone, too, for my Aunt Rosa. Forget that. Aunt Liz will be jealous.
Sounds like my family drama.
Oh, I got it. I'll give it to my abuela. I'll take reindeer paper with, hey, where are you going?
To T-Mobile. Thanks, Zoe.
The holidays are better at T-Mobile. Get 4 iPhone 17s on us. No trade-in needed when you switch. Plus 4 lines for just $25 a line.
With 24 monthly bill credits and 4 eligible port-ins on essentials for well-qualified customers. Auto pay plus taxes, fees, and $35 device connection charge. Credits end in balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Contact us. Finance agreement 256 gigabytes, $830 required. Visit T-Mobile.com.
Red and Gold Game Day starts at Laughing Monk Brewing. Park for free. Enjoy amazing food, ice-cold beer, and every game on TV. Catch 95.7 The Game's pregame show. Then hop on the free shuttle straight to the stadium. Sign up now at 957thegame.com.
Curry. A switch gets Keldon Johnson off the screen by Draymond. Dribbles on Wembanyama. Step back three off the dribble. Had him turned around. He looked for Curry. He wasn't there. Knocks down the three left side. Payton collides with Castle. Podziemski gets into Horford to Curry. Curry to Podziemski inside to Butler. Left corner Payton rotates back to Curry. Good closeout by Sohan. Dribble drive by Curry. Steps back, fades into a two. Got another one. Oh my goodness. It's the Curry show here in San Antonio.
Wow. Now back to Warriors This Week on 95.7 The Game.
What a game.
It sure was. Tim Roy on the call, 95-7 The Game. 109-108. Warriors beat the Spurs. Steph Curry, 49 points, 31 in the second half.
I love Tim Roy, by the way.
Simply spectacular. Well, speaking of broadcasters, what'd you think of the Prime broadcast?
Well, why did you...
What?
Why do you got to spoon feed me? Like, come on, I'm just trying to...
Just throwing you the lob.
I just want to stay
You're
positive
Curry, man.
today. I'm not a Kevin Harlan fan. It was hard to listen to Kevin Harlan, and I know he's so popular. It's just, let it breathe, bro. Just let it breathe.
The guy is drunk.
Yeah, Tall Asian Mike in the YouTube chat saying Harlan's a great.
I know everybody loves Kevin Harlan. It's just, it's too much. Just lay out. You know how I feel about that. But Tim Roy is just pleasant to listen to. He's informative. He's funny. And he gives you a good description of the game. And it's just like he's not, I don't know, he doesn't have the pipes, I guess, of Greg Papa way back in the day when sleepy as Superman. But he's just, he's somebody that I enjoy just when I turn it on and I'm going from point A to point B when I'm driving. And I'm like, I'm not annoyed. I'm not like, oh, God. Because I have no options. I can turn down the volume when I'm watching a game. I don't have that option when I'm
just watch it muted. No, Tim Roy's he's great, man. He's been doing it forever for a reason, and he's been the voice of a lot of memorable moments.
Steph Curry. Just getting back to him. So, did you watch the Amazon broadcast?
I did.
Okay, so they did this comparison side by side. Wembanyama closed out on him on a three, a step back three. Think about how hard that is. If you're what is Curry, 6'2" on a good day, 6'3" maybe?
Yeah, with his new shoes.
And Wemby's coming out at you, and he's extending, he's closing on you. So he's going full-on extension with his hand. He's already 7'5". The wingspan puts him over 9 feet?
Who knows?
And Curry buries it. But they did the analogy, and it was really good work by the crew of Amazon, of it was really similar to what it is that he did in the Olympics against Team France and Wembanyama.
Well, they showed that still shot photo of him shooting over Wemby when his hand was outstretched and the ball was like past his hand. So it looked like he shot it through his hand almost. It was a great shot. But they showed that between the NBC Sports Bay Area broadcast on Wednesday and the Prime broadcast on Friday, I think I saw that picture 7 times because he just kept doing it. Like I think it was in the second quarter, the one from the top of the key that they were talking about where he just shoots it over Wemby. It was, I don't even know how you visual. Well, I'll tell you who else did it quietly.
Draymond.
No, your boy.
Oh.
Will Richard. Yeah. He hit a three over Wemby in the corner. That was pretty impressive.
You hit me up last night. So when I landed, I hadn't seen the fourth quarter, but I saw your text and you were throwing praise to Will Richard. So when I popped in the game, I'm like, oh, Richard must have gone off here in the fourth quarter, but he didn't even play.
No, but he played well, though.
No, I did, but I was curious because that's who you pointed out, and I didn't even know the outcome. And I'm like, the Warriors won this, and Will Richard hit the game winner?
Well, I sent you that text after he hit that three with Wemby closing out on him because I just can't imagine for a rookie there's some big players in college. Like at Florida, there's the 7'4" guy. This dude who plays now for the Hornets, Kalkbrenner. He's 7'3", played for Creighton last. Like there's some tall guys in college, but he's never seen anything like that. And for him to adjust his shot to Wembanyama and then still, I thought it was really impressive. So he didn't have a big game, but I wanted to, I took a victory lap because I had the Warriors actually winning some games this week, unlike you. And you have been telling me that Will Richard is the future, and I got to give you credit because 3 days later he's in the starting lineup. I know he didn't play a ton of minutes, but he's a starter.
So moving forward,
Mm-hmm.
What are we doing with Jonathan Kuminga? Obviously, he's coming back.
Oh, boy.
And how do we get him back into the fold?
Well, I think you do need him back. But the issue is, do you think they win those games with Kuminga?
Yes. I don't think he plays much.
I have my doubts. And the only reason is because, well, look, I think it's a little unfair. I do believe that he was looking hesitant and played hesitant because his knee, he has the tendonitis, right? And it sounds like both knees. But his confidence looked zapped after that second half against Sacramento. Indiana didn't play particularly well. Oklahoma City, nobody played well. And he kind of looked like a deer in the headlights that first half on Wednesday against San Antonio. And Gary Payton II was huge. GP2 doesn't play if Kuminga's not hurt. So, and I think GP2 is one of the reasons why they won those games. So I'm not sure. Maybe Kuminga makes plays. Maybe he doesn't. I'm not sure they win those games, Dan, but I do believe that if this team, to your point earlier, like, what's sustainable? Curry going for 45 every night, or an ensemble cast going on the road against the Lakers and getting 15 here, 20 here, 18 here, 16 there. That, to me, is what the Warriors have to eventually get back to. And I think in some way, shape, or form that involves JK.
The Warriors, when Steph Curry is off the floor, struggle to find their offense, especially in the early part of games. And there is nobody that they can turn to when Jonathan Kuminga isn't there. Now, Jonathan Kuminga has struggled, and I'm certainly not here to defend him. In fact, I do want to talk more about him, and all roads eventually end up at the doorstep of Jonathan Kuminga on this show. But it is so evident, and it's not Butler for whatever reason. But there are so many times where it just screams out. Podziemski has nowhere to go. Moody needs a screen. He can't create his own shot. It's not Buddy Hield. It's certainly not Al Horford. And the ball is just going around the perimeter. And you could see as though the Warriors are just collectively screaming out saying, will somebody create a shot not named Steph Curry? And they don't have anybody. Now, later in the game when Curry gets them unlocked and the offense is flowing, and now he's got that gravitational pull, and now there's confidence, and suddenly GP2 is like, all right, I'll get one. And you can see Podziemski's like, let me join the party. But early on in games when Steph is not on the floor, it's an exercise of hot potato. I don't want it because I don't have the ability to go by my guy. Say what you will about Jonathan Kuminga, and there's a lot that you can and we will talk about, but he still possesses, oftentimes he has that ace up his sleeve that he can actually put pressure on the rim when nobody else can.
He can, but...
No, I get it. It comes at a price.
Well, he can't do it off the dribble. Like, as much as I want to agree with you about the creation stuff, like, how many times have you seen him like off the dribble, like counter or like break down his man? Like he can get one step to the rim. If he collects and gets his steps right, like he can play above players. But I'm watching him against Sac. Against, and OKC is not necessarily fair, but then again, that's the team you're trying to measure yourself against. Like he can't go by anybody. So I agree with you that Curry's the only person who can create for himself off the dribble, but I really don't know if there's anybody else in this roster that can do that. And Kuminga might be the player that's most capable, but one of the reasons why I believe he was taken out of the starting lineup, and I want to get to the Draymond Green sound in just a moment from OKC, because that kind of is where this all stems from. But one of the reasons why I think he was out of the starting lineup is because he led the league, he led the team in turnovers. And you're seeing a team that last night, like if they turn the ball over 20 times, they lose that game against the Spurs. If they don't take care of the ball, they lose games. This isn't a 2016-17 Warriors team that can just toss the ball all over the floor, be loose with the ball, and have enough offensive firepower and defensive playmakers to overcome it. They just can't. If they don't protect the ball, they're going to lose. And I think that's why you saw him go back to the bench. And I think that's why they're now trying to do what they did last year, which is basically just have Jimmy Butler initiate everything. Because he's the only guy, Steph included, who's careful with the ball.
That's why he's as effective as he is. I would say this in defense of Jonathan Kuminga. I think he can. If he squared up on a guy and they're eyeball to eyeball, I think he can get by a guy. But yeah, his handle needs some work. But what he can do is if you need a bucket, he can ISO and he can back a guy down. He'll get into a crab dribble and back you down and get into a space where he's 16 to 18 feet from the hoop and he's perfected this little turnaround jump shot, which he's very capable of hitting. And that's an ISO that they don't have when he's not on the floor. Now, the issue with him is that we've regressed right back where we were last year, and we regressed right back where we were 2 or 3 years ago, where he's uncertain in Steve Kerr's system when to let it go, when to defer, when I should, get mine, and it's not instinctive. I talked about this last week. We're 5 years into this now, Ev, and I think I've gotten to the point where, and this isn't necessarily an indictment on Jonathan Kuminga, but if he doesn't know at this point that, okay, I instinctively just know where to go, I got to get mine, I see where the floor is balanced, and know I'm going to give it to Steph because, he's got an opening, like all that stuff. But when he's overthinking things 5 years in, it's time to go. And it's not an indictment on his talent. It's just like, you're never going to get this, all right? Go someplace else, start anew, be the number one or number two on a bad team, and do you. But this can no longer continue. And the reason why I say that is because you and I talked about this, and I asked you, I think, is this the new version of Jonathan Kuminga? Did the light finally go on? Does he finally get it? And we talked about this after the first week. But now that we've seen what it is that he's done in the last couple of games, where he's the same old guy, I'm at the point where I'm like, I think it's just best for everybody that he gets out of town and the Warriors get what it is that they're going to get from him, because I don't think it'll ever go on in terms of that proverbial green light.
Well, you and I have talked about this before. I think that's where it is eventually heading. But on a night like last night, I'm not sure where he would have helped. Like, it was all about Curry. It had to be all about Steph. And you're right, that the moment that he starts to get going, everything else is unlocked. GP2 is not open for that wing three if Steph isn't double-teamed. Jimmy Butler isn't able to cut to the lane for an easy two with 4 minutes left if Curry's not being double-teamed 5 feet beyond the three-point line. Pods probably isn't able to drive into the space in the paint and kick the GP2 in the corner if the attention isn't on Steph. I understand that. But to me, the goal is going to be to get what they can out of Jonathan for the remaining months that he's on the team, and then try and trade him for something that fits a bit better, But I think this is where it all stemmed from. So this was after Oklahoma City. Draymond Green talking about some of the things that he felt after they got embarrassed in Oklahoma City. Here's Draymond.
In your losses, your guys' turnover numbers have been really high. How is that the biggest issue right now?
It's definitely an issue. But they had 20 turnovers too, and they beat us by 30. So it's a lot more issues than just that.
What do you think is the biggest difference between the way you ended last season once Jimmy got here and what's going on right now?
I think everybody was committed to winning and doing that any way possible. And right now, it doesn't feel that way.
Personal agenda type stuff, or I guess how would you kind of?
I think everyone has a personal agenda in this league, but you have to make those personal agenda work in the team confines. And if it doesn't work, then you kind of got to get rid of your agenda, or eventually the agenda is the cause of someone getting rid of you. And so, I think you don't want a team with no personal agendas, because a goal is an agenda, And so you got to have some type of personal agenda. But like I said, you got your personal agenda must fit into the confines of the team.
Yeah, so I don't know.
Might be one of the most insightful things he's ever said.
There's a couple bars in there. Like, I know Draymond is, you may like him, you may not like him. I thought it was kind of funny. He didn't really point the finger at himself, but not wrong. And again, like, he backed up what he was talking about. They won 2 games after he said that. So you got to give him some credit. When you heard it, who did you think that he was talking about?
I thought initially Podziemski or Jonathan Kuminga, and I think it was one of those two. What was interesting is that I think that they fully intended, now because of the blowout, they didn't play much in the fourth quarter, but I think that first game against San Antonio, that Steve Kerr was going to rest all those guys. I really do believe that. But after what it is that he said, it's like, you can't take this game off now, man. Bro, you just called everybody out. Get your arse on the court. You don't get this one.
No, yeah, exactly. Thanks, Jerry. Kerr said he was questionable for San Antonio the night before. Like, before the OKC game, he basically said, we're thinking about sitting Draymond. May not play. And then he goes out there and stinks up to join an OKC, calls everybody out. Yeah, he had to play. And, to be fair, he played pretty well. I know Wemby had big numbers, but
Draymond was
in his jersey
in those 2 games. Who do you think he was calling out?
I think he was calling out everybody. Now, I understand why the road would naturally lead to those 2 guys, because who are the 2 players that have spoke about agendas the most? Kuminga and I think Podziemski. Like, Pods wants to be face of the franchise. He wants to be the white Shohei. He wants to be all these things that a lot of people believe are just flat out ridiculous. Kuminga, meanwhile, wanted to get the bag, and he did. So I understand why it's those two guys. But I also think, too, he might have been talking to some of the other players. Like, could have been talking to maybe Jimmy Butler, who took 3 shots in 22 minutes against Oklahoma City. Could have been talking to even someone as quiet and team-oriented as Moses Moody, who behind the scenes might not have been happy about going back to the bench after stepping into his starting role last year. I don't know what's going on behind the scenes. Maybe Gary Payton II could have been pouting a bit after being phased out of the rotation. You notice Buddy Hield and Jimmy, not so buddy-buddy this year. Because Buddy's not taking shots. Buddy's not playing. Buddy might be out of the rotation. You know what I mean? Like, there are other players on the team that I think Draymond could have been talking to. I'm not saying he was specifically, but I think he was just saying that everybody was playing more as individuals than as a team, which was clear. Perhaps. Thank you. That's what I thought he was saying.
I don't think he would go after Jimmy Butler. I could be wrong.
He went after Kevin Durant.
I would not go there, because if Butler gets a whiff of that, then Butler is not the kind of guy who's going to take that sitting down. Like, you don't want to poke that bear, but you want disruption. Don't do that to Jimmy Butler. I think Draymond knows that. But I thought it was really insightful, because if you think about it, if you just step back for a moment, it's like, and I did. I was like, yeah, you know what? He's so right. It's because you have to have personal agendas, but at the same time, it's got to work within the confines of winning. Like, that's a really, really difficult thing to balance if you think about it as an NBA basketball player, right? Like, they're all playing for personal contracts. So I can't sacrifice everything for the good of the team. I got to get mine. And I've got a personal agenda. And he's right. Everybody has their personal agenda, but it has to be balanced within the confines of what it is that we're here to do, and that is win games, which I think is really, seriously, that might be the most insightful thing that he's ever said. Because there's a lot of crap that's come out of his mouth on the daily.
Well, that's what I'm trying to think of.
And he was amazing against, I think, Wemby.
He's good back-to-back nights. In fact, I think last night, the first half, you didn't see Wemby shoot. He took 1 shot in the paint in the first half. And I think, number one, because Draymond was defending him well, but he also knew that the paint was just not available.
Yeah, well, I want to talk about that. That is ridiculous.
Well, but he got stuffed the game before. Like, he was 1 for 6 against Draymond in the first half of that first game that they played. And a lot of it is because, and I know you always do this, you're a big man, get your ass in the paint, back your ass into the restricted area. Well, I hate to break it to you, Draymond Green might weigh more than Victor Wembanyama. So he will in a couple of years be that post player that you want him to be, but he ain't Jokic, bro. So I think one of the reasons why he did not have his ass in the paint is because of what Draymond was able to do to him the game before.
Partially. I'll give you that. But I think part of his game, because he's got to be able to do what it is that he does way out on the wing, because that's why he's this valued. I mean, you want to call him a stretch five, I guess. He's just we've never seen anything like him. And part of what it is that he does is ability to shoot threes. But when I see possessions where he's trying to dribble out of a double team 30 feet from the hoop and then throws it away, I'm like, that's disgusting for a 7'5". That is an absolute waste. Maybe don't stick him down to the post the entire time. Get him on the nail. Put him on the pinch post. Get him closer to the hoop. I do not want to see him get into action 30 feet from the hoop. I know he can shoot it. I know he can cross over. To me, more often than not, that's a waste of time. Yes, he's got to get outside and do what it is that he does on the wing. But more often than not, some of those turnovers, oh my God. I'm sorry. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Hakeem Olajuwon, David Robinson, I'll go right on down the list. It's just like, oh, oy vey.
Yeah, there were some really bad ones in that first game. He cleaned it up a little bit last night. Let's go to Kevin, who's in Fremont. Kevin, get us going. You're on Warriors This Week. What's up, man? How are you?
Tremendous. And how are you doing?
Tremendous. I love that word. I'll steal it and throw it back at you.
Yeah, okay, cool. The Kuminga long-term, I agree, is going to probably get traded for what they really need. His main problem, and I've been really pounding on him for his basketball playing. I said to the caller answerer, bad athleticism versus, I'm going to say, basketball acumen. Okay, he has all the athleticism in the world until that knee gives out, by the way. He's not going to hold up long term, by the way. But he has not developed, it's not innate to him to play basketball. He knows how to beat his man, and I'm not even sure about that, because every time he gets under a heavy pressure, he turns the ball over. He's athletic, but I'm not sure he has the innate ability to know how to get over somebody when he needs to with that jumping ability. And every 2 seconds that he does display basketball ability, just basketball athleticism, he comes up with this knee issue. And about a year ago, I said he's not long for this league, and the Warriors need to trade him as soon as they get this contract figured out. They need to trade him for what they do need in basketball acumen, because he's not going to be a long-term player in this league. I have had knee issues myself. I've been an athlete all my life, but I haven't been a basketball player. I'm just saying he's not going to hold up that way. He jumps all the way up to the ceiling. He comes down on that knee. Those knees are going to give out, and they are already giving out. And so I think he's had a great year of trying to buy into what they want from him. But every time, like when he gets the ball without Curry on the court, when he gets the ball and he doesn't innately know what to do with it next. And that's never happened. During the 4 years, you got to have progress in that area. And that's why he's never going to be what everybody thinks or thought he was going to be.
I got you, Kev. Appreciate the call, man. We got to hit a break here in a second. I want to get to Scott and Berkeley's call on the other side, but I don't want to go down that road right now. There is something I actually do want to talk about with Kuminga, and it has to do with his summer that I think is important in all of this.
But really quick, before we go to the break, one of the reasons why I said, it's time for him to go, and everybody seems, well, yeah, of course, it's a foregone conclusion that he's going to get traded. Not a couple of weeks ago. It was up for debate. Do we trade Kuminga after what it is that we saw out of the first week? It's like, I don't know.
Well, that's how fandom works. Remember, we talked about this last year. Nobody wanted to give up on Wiggins or some of those guys because they're playing well.
The one thing that
and it's like the time to trade a guy is when he's playing well. If you trade him when he's bad, nobody wants him.
You know what he's a poster child for?
Tell me.
Stay in school. Stay in school and learn to play. You should have gone to Duke. Look at Trace Jackson Davis and Will Richard. You know why they're in the NBA? It was 4 years of college basketball. I'm not saying 4 years, but you can clearly see that he's learning on the job. And while all the athleticism is there, all the other... Why are you smirking?
TJD stinks.
God, well, that's not my point.
But he's not very good.
He is.
He's fine. I'm just kidding.
How about Will Richard? Don't do it. Don't do it. You want to go?
All right, we got to hit a break here. Save me. Commercial break. Save me. Warriors This Week. We'll be back after this with Giddings and Devone on 95.7 The Game.
In sports, success is about team effort, and the same is true for your hair. At Great Clips, we save your haircut details in clip notes, so every member of the highly skilled team knows exactly how to create your signature look. And with our easy-to-use app, you can check in from anywhere and get a ready next text when you're up next for a cut. It's the confidence of a great haircut delivered by a team you trust. Download our app today. Great Clips. It's gonna be great.
Join History San Jose for South Bay Flashback, Riffs, Rhythms, and Revolution. The new exhibit celebrates San Jose's forgotten music scene of the 1960s through over 200 show posters, artifacts, and stories. Whether you danced to these beats the first time around or you're discovering the roots of rock history, this free exhibit will take you back to this psychedelic moment. Open select weekends starting Saturday, November 22nd at the Paseta House in History Park. To plan your visit, call 408-287-2290.
With the new IHOP value menu, $6 is all it takes to go to your happy plates, where stacks of pancakes with bacon and eggs are just $6 every day. French toast, sausage, and eggs are, you guessed it, $6. And fluffy omelets come with a side of pancakes and only cost $6. Go to your happy plates every day at IHOP. $7 in some locations. Available every day for a limited time at participating restaurants in the U.S. Hours may vary. No substitutions. Not valid with other discounts or promotions. Prices may vary.
Hi, I'm Michael from the War and Treaty. You know the jingle. Now discover the facts about Ozempic, a GLP-1. Only Novo Nordisk makes FDA-approved Ozempic. Learn about the real thing.
Talk to your healthcare professional today. Call 1-833-OZEMPIC or visit Ozempic.com to view the medication guide and to learn more about Ozempic. Semaglutide injection 0.5 milligram, 1 milligram, and 2 milligrams.
Hey, it's Brady Quinn. Look, falling asleep is the easy part. It's staying asleep. That's the challenge, especially when my kids sneak into bed. Mattress Firm knows real rest comes from uninterrupted quality sleep. Their sleep experts can match you with the right Tempur-Pedic mattress featuring Tempur material that absorbs motion so you sleep soundly. Upgrade today and get next day delivery. Shop Mattress Firm's Black Friday sale and save up to $500 on select Tempur-Pedic adjustable mattress sets. Restrictions apply. Next day delivery on select mattresses. See store for more details.
Do you often worry you left the garage door open? With a LiftMaster garage door opener powered by MyQ, you'll never worry again. You can control, secure, and monitor your garage from your smartphone anytime, from anywhere through the MyQ app. As an authorized LiftMaster dealer, Ace's Garage Door Repair and Installation has smart openers designed for your needs, including belt drive motors for ultra-quiet operation, integrated camera for live video, streaming, and battery backup to let you in when the power is out. Trust Ace's Garage Door Repair and Installation for top-notch service and unbeatable reliability. Whether you need a quick fix, a complete replacement, or a brand new installation for your garage door or garage door opener, our skilled technicians are here to get the job done right. With competitive prices, a commitment to quality, and diamond certification, Aces has you covered. Call today at 855-588-2237 or visit acegd.com. That's acegd.com. Aces Garage Door Repair and Installation, where your garage door is our priority.
There's nothing like when you get that part from eBay and it just fits. Yeah, the first time. So you can do less of this and get right back to more of this. At eBay, you'll find all the parts you need, guaranteed to fit, at prices you'll love. Sounds good, doesn't it? eBay, things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Stand-up comedian Tom Segura is coming back to the Bay Area with his Come Together tour. He'll be performing at the Paramount Theater in Oakland on November 30th. Get your tickets at livenation.com. For a chance to win your way into the show, enter online at 957thegame.com.
Oh, hey, welcome to gift wrapping. Whoa, Zoe Saldana.
Hey, can you wrap these, please?
Wow, iPhone 17s. You splurged.
At T-Mobile, you can get 4 iPhone 17s on them. It's the perfect gift for everyone.
I'm the worst. I only got my mom a robe.
Well, it's better than socks.
So, I have to trade in my old phone, right?
No, at T-Mobile, there's no trade-ins needed when you switch. Keep your old phone or give it as a gift.
Incredible.
In fact, wrap up my old phone too for my Aunt Rosa. Forget that. Aunt Liz will be jealous.
Sounds like my family. Drama.
Oh, I got it. I'll give it to my abuela. I'll take reindeer paper with, hey, where are you going?
To T-Mobile! Thanks, Zoe! The holidays are better at T-Mobile. Get 4 iPhone 17s on us, no trade-in needed when you switch. Plus 4 lines for just $25 a line.
With 24 monthly bill credits and 4 eligible port-ins on essentials for well-qualified customers. Auto-pay plus taxes, fees, and $35 device connection charge. Credits end in balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Contact us. Finance agreement 256 gigabytes, $830 required. Visit T-Mobile.com.
You're listening to 95.7 The Game, KGMZ FM in HD1 San Francisco on Odyssey Sports Station. Always live on the free Odyssey app, Twitch, and YouTube. Powered by First NorCal Credit Union.
Butler wheeled it outside. Butler, he terminates, gets it to Payton. Payton, hand off to Curry at midcourt. Shot clock at 10. Curry draws 2. Feeds Payton above the break, left side, and it's good! GP2 has given the Warriors the lead. 101-100. How is this possible?
Now back to Warriors This Week on 95.7 The Game.
See, that's the little stuff that Tim Roy does, because since he's had since he's been on the call for the Warriors the entirety of Curry's career, he's seen so many things that you would label as unbelievable or ridiculous. And yet, he still has different stuff in his bag to describe something that you, like the average eye, would see and feel stunned by. A lot of times, like actually Harlan got caught up in this last night. It's the first time I've ever heard him, and he was calling the game on Prime, the first time I've ever heard him at a loss for words. And I think it was when Curry was I think it might have been a part of the 10-point run where he stepped back and it was the 30-foot shot and he just drills it, net doesn't move. And Harlan didn't have a call. He's usually got, it's a Curry flurry or, unbelievable, or this guy's out of this world or something, I don't know, something. And he didn't have a call. And that's how you know that the player is doing something utterly ridiculous.
Well, I like that call by Tim Roy because that's exactly how I felt. How is this possible? What's going on here?
I lost you.
They're actually going to have a chance of winning this thing, and it's thanks in large part to GP3, the forgotten man?
GP2. Gary Payton II. Not Gary Payton Jr., that's his brother. But
GP3. You know what I was thinking of? Is the other guy who's on the CP3, who's also on the end of the bench.
The equalizer?
He's DNP now. He's going he and Brooke Lopez, this is their swan song.
Dude, they're so old. By the way, the moment that Chris Paul hung him up officially? When Pods caught him in transition. You cannot get blocked by Brandon Pajemski. You can't get bashed up against the backboard by Brandon Pajemski. I got thoughts on him in a minute, but Scott's been hanging on patiently in Berkeley. Scotty, welcome to Warriors This Week. What's up, man? How are you?
Good morning, gentlemen. How are you?
How's the dog?
Oh, I don't have a dog, thank goodness.
Sorry.
I couldn't deal with
it was a different guy. My bad.
After the last 2 nights, first of all, let's discuss, the Oklahoma City game. With OKC, does it really matter? Because 2 nights later, they did the same. They did worse to the Lakers. So, you kind of have to take that game out of the conversation. But the last 2 games have reminded me, because as old as I am, I've seen in this area the greatest baseball player who ever lived, the all-time leader in home runs, the greatest leadoff man in history, the guy who, with 1,400 steals, nobody's ever getting close to that. We've seen the wide receiver with 200 touchdowns. Nobody's ever getting close to that. And now we have a guy who I just looked at his number. I just looked at it. It's 4,108 threes. He's probably going to get to 5,000 threes before somebody else gets to 4,000. I can't tell you how many times I've been watching a game and it's I'm going, that's a bad shot. And then my mind goes, oh, it's Steph, never mind.
Mm.
So, you just have to kind of appreciate the moment. Now, insofar as business, the trade window opens up the second week in December. The name that I guess I'm kind of fixed on right now would be Trey Murphy III, since New Orleans fired Willie Green last night.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if Dumars has a plan, to keep that works around him and somehow keeps Zion, but Murphy would fit because of the shooting. Last thought about Under Armour. I give that company, and I have to kind of qualify this because I'm a Maryland graduate, so I'm not necessarily.
You're a turtle.
I'm a terrapin.
That's a turtle.
Okay, call it that. But I've denied it over the years as well. But I give Kevin Plank credit for especially the first Curry, because remember that was a stovetop high top that Steph wore. And I thought it was admirable because that shoe really protected his ankles.
Mm-hmm.
Having said that, the marketing with them has just been abysmal. So, and there is another issue. I mean, Plank has some very kind of strange political affiliations back east, so that may have contributed to this as well. But again, it's I kind of look at it and wonder. I could almost see Steph bouncing back to the swoosh. Because again, if you want to talk marketing and if you wanted to talk technology, Nike's still going to have it over everybody else.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where I'm thinking about with this whole thing. But right now, I mean, if we're going to start talking trades, I would want to. I mean, I just keep thinking New Orleans. I'm not going near the Dallas situation under any circumstance.
I got you, Scott. No, appreciate the call, man. Go Terps. I'd love Trey Murphy. I would love Trey Murphy. In fact, they could have got Trey Murphy.
I would do that.
They drafted Moses Moody ahead of Trey Murphy. The one thing he said, though, about Steph has actually got me thinking. Because he mentioned Ricky, he mentioned Bonds.
Who was the leadoff hitter he was talking about? Jung-Hoo Lee?
No,
No?
He was talking about Yaz. Steph Curry, like what he's doing with the three-point shot, I don't know, what do you give me for this? What Steph Curry is doing with the three-point shot is like what Ricky Henderson did with steals. Only if the steal was the most valuable part of baseball. Like, there's nothing more valuable than a three-point shot. It is the weapon that every team needs, uses, and largely determines the outcome of games. Steph's the greatest at that one thing. But he's blown everybody out of the water. Like, Ricky Henderson was the stolen base king, and then he played 12 more years. But the steal has become devalued over time, which is the reason why I don't think people really think about Ricky Henderson in the same light as, maybe the Bondses or the Mazes, the Aarons, because the home run is the most valuable thing in baseball for a position player. It's like if Ricky, if the steal was the most valuable thing, because he's blown everybody out of the water. When Curry's all said and done, he's right, Scott is. There will not be anybody in his atmosphere as far as three-point makes. But the three-point shot is the most valuable shot in basketball.
I guess the only issue I'd have with the analogy is that hitting a three is much more difficult than stealing a base. If stealing a base is, if you're fast, you can steal bases. What it is that Steph is doing requires a lot more athleticism.
Well, they're completely different sports. I mean, playing basketball.
No, I know, but if you're going to equate the two, the stolen base and the three-point shot, I think the skill set is so different in terms of what it is that you need to do.
No, 100%. But I'm just saying, as far as like the gap between the two players and then the second best guy. Like if you look at Ricky's stolen base records, they're by far and away. I don't think anybody else has 1,000. He's got like 1,200 or something.
Who's number 2?
I think it's Lou Brock.
Lou Brock, right?
Yeah, but the stolen base has been phased out of baseball because it's not as valuable. The 3-point shot is the most valuable shot, and in large in part because of Steph Curry. Like that's the other part about it too, which makes it difficult to sort of dig into. Is he's the reason why the 3 is as valuable as it is. He's made it mainstream. You know, before he started taking the amount of threes and from degree of difficulty and distance, there were teams that took threes, but they didn't. I don't think that they were. I don't know if respect is the right word, but it wasn't seen as a viable path to contention. And now it's like you got to shoot threes.
Which is why I think somebody will catch and pass him.
Wemby?
No.
Oh.
Somebody that's probably in AAU right now. And it's because of what it is that you just said. Because it's so prevalent.
Damn, Ricky's got 1,400. That's ridiculous. You know what I was thinking? When I'm 70 years old, and you're 120 because...
Still swimming.
Because you don't age. And you're in your cryo chamber and you got your Ted Williams situation going on. We're going to be watching 10 Wembys on the floor. Like the way every single sport evolves in different ways.
That's not going to happen.
There's going to be 5 players on a team, and all of them are going to be 7 feet tall. And all of them are going to be able to dribble and going to be able to shoot. Once one person breaks a barrier, the next ones are all coming. You don't think there's a bunch of 7-foot kids that are seeing Wemby do what he does?
Who's breeding 7-foot 6-inch people?
Wemby.
Oh, so it's going to be a league full of his offspring?
VW2.
No, but people are going to start recruiting just 7-footers and teaching them and doing this and doing that. I'm telling you, dude, in, 40 years, there's just going to be a bunch of Wembys.
I think it's more practical to see what it is that we've witnessed where there is now everybody's a Steph Curry because it's easier to be 6 feet or 6'2" and shoot a 3 as opposed to being 7 feet 6 and doing what it is. Wemby's one of one. He's one of one. Like there's only been one Shaq. It's not as though you looked at Shaq and saying, oh, okay, well, let's just.
So earlier this week, Steiny brought up a name, Ralph Sampson.
Yeah.
He's 7'4". I don't know. Do you think he's similar to... I never saw him play. I know he lost to Chaminade, though.
That's right.
When he was at Virginia.
Good call. Chaminade with the greatest upset in the history of professional sports.
Yes, sir.
I called Chaminade games.
Really?
Yeah. The Silver Swords.
You're full of surprises.
Yeah. Play-by-play basketball. Welcome to Chaminade basketball here on KHVH.
The Maui Classic. They also beat Cal a couple years ago. That was a new low.
You know, the shout out to Willie Green. You know the writings on the wall? Willie Green, who, by the way, got canned by the New Orleans Pelicans. Poor Willie Green. What the hell is he going to do over there?
I mean, he was there for 5 years.
I know.
I think he actually got a pretty long run.
But that something like this is inevitable in terms of you getting canned is they stopped introducing him at home games.
No way. They stopped doing that?
Yes.
Oh, boy.
Because listen, that's the power of the people. For those of you that are listening.
You'd get booed every time
Those of you that are listening and you go to baseball, basketball, football games and you think you're a fan and you can't move the needle, look what it is that took place this past week. I do think that the Fire Nico at Dallas, Fire Nico Harrison was so loud and was so abundantly clear to management, anybody who is sitting in, those executive suites, anybody that was at a Dallas game that it was like, oh, we got to do something about this, man, because you can't hide from this. The entire arena was Fire Nico in Dallas. And, of course, Nico Harrison gets his walking papers. And then they stopped introducing Willie Green, the head coach of the New Orleans Pelicans, because the cascade of boos that would just drown out the entire arena got to a point of embarrassment Where New Orleans is like, well, it might have been an inevitability regardless, but they're like, well, let's do this sooner rather than later. We can't even introduce the guy at home games. Power of the people. Power of the people.
People shouldn't have all the power, is all I'm saying. But I understand that if your team is that despondent, like
listen, if baseball goes on a strike,
which it will,
you will eat those words because they need a say in all of this.
Who? The people? People don't. No one cares about work stoppages.
Who loses at the end of the day? If
the players.
All I want to do is watch baseball games.
Yeah.
And you're denying me that fact because the millionaires and the billionaires aren't in an argument. The people need a seat at that table, Evan Giddings.
Oh, my God.
The people have the say, right, Pasta?
If baseball's canceled, you'll see me and Sam Lubman with pitchforks. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's going to go over real well.
What the hell's Sam going to do for 7 months out of the year?
He's going to parade down Market Street. Let's, how's the sausage guys doing? Pasta.
Garlic fries and baseball guys?
Yeah,
we just recorded. We just released one yesterday.
Oh, right on. What the hell are you guys talking about during the Anthony Vitello?
You know, Anthony's the full gov name is crazy. We did talk about Tony Vitello, and that was pretty much it for an hour.
He's in trouble. He just doesn't know
it's like when our friend from Locked On Warriors, name? Chuck gives me a call in the middle of the summer going, hey, you want to jump on? What the hell are we going to talk about?
We're going to talk about what we're talking about right now, which is a little bit of everything. This is from the 415 on the Boxer and Gerson work injury attorneys text line. My point exactly. More likely for Chet Holmgren starting for one team. Chet Holmgren is 7'1". He can dribble. He can shoot. He can defend. The game is going to be they're going to have to raise the rims. How about that? I'll go on a limb. They're going to have to raise the rims to 11 feet. That's where the game of basketball is going.
I'm telling you, if I was the head coach, Mitch Johnson, who proverbial always looks like he just woke up. It's 3 a.m.
Okay, well, there is something we got to talk about with Mitch Johnson.
What's up? He looks like he bakes more than you.
Can we send a double team? This guy has been killing you for 2 nights. Curry. Right. Like, if we're going to be honest about this, I know it's really hard to stop a guy when he's as great as Curry is and when he's got it going. But you think at some point, amidst his second near 20-point third quarter, we're just going to trap him at the midline.
They were sending doubles.
Not at half court. Like, get the ball out of his hand.
Oh, okay.
Like, I don't want him with the ball anywhere near the 3-point line. The moment he walks down, there was during the 10-point spurt, when you're up 10 points, Jeremy Sohan is backpedaling in transition. Curry takes a 29-foot pull-up. I hate to break it to you, buddy. That's a layup for him. Like, Mitch, can you get a phone call from Greg Popovich at halftime and send a freaking double team at this dude? I know he's not a big man, and it's more difficult to do. But yes, Gary Payton II is going to have to beat us tonight. Draymond Green's going to have to beat us tonight. God love Mitch Johnson, and I think he's a good coach. But back-to-back 45 burgers? Can we make an adjustment?
Did you see the end of the first win against San Antonio? The last, in the closing seconds, when things were pretty much decided. But San Antonio is trying to mount this frantic comeback. They're down like 5, or down like, 8, maybe with just seconds to go. And the Warriors call an inbounds play. And so, is Steve Kerr, I don't know if he's the greatest coach currently in the NBA. He's probably in that conversation. But in terms of inbounds plays, I'll put him right at the very top. You give him a timeout and have him craft up an inbounds play, more often than not, he's getting somebody open. May not go in.
Well, that is where you use the gravity of Steph, right?
Did you see? That's exactly what I'm talking about. So he has everybody lined up. I'd never seen this before. It looked like Hoosiers. They're all in a line. He has Steph race towards San Antonio's basket, like at a full-on sprint going the other way. Like the ball is being inbounded and the Warriors on their side of the basket. He just tells Steph, run as fast as you can towards San Antonio. Look at it. I invite everybody to look at it. 3 San Antonio Spurs go running after him. And then they set this perfect screen for Buddy Hield. All Buddy Hield has to do is like literally walk to the basket. There is nobody within dialing distance. And He runs around. It is so Buddy Hield-esque. Thankfully, that game wasn't close. He runs around like, I don't know what to do. Where do I go? And Jimmy Butler's one of the first guys that says, bro, go to the rim. It is, I invite anybody who knows what it is that I'm talking about in the closing seconds of that first one against San Antonio, an inbounds play where Steph Curry drew three defenders, and it left things wide open for Buddy Hield, but instead Buddy Hield set some silly pick instead of going to the rim. And everybody, thankfully things were decided because when he went to the bench, everybody was laughing. Like, are you out of your mind? Even Buddy was just like, just chalk that up to another, Buddy Hield moment.
Well, there was also, there's been a few Chivano moments this year. There was also the play, I think it was on Wednesday, where they basically ran the same inbounds play, the one that Draymond got the easy layup on last night, and Draymond just blew it. He
smoked that layup?
He just smoked the layup.
He does that so frequently. What is up with that?
Dude, there was, I think it was.
Did you see him in the All-Star competition?
Which one?
The All-Star competition where he was teamed.
The skills challenge?
Skills challenge?
Yeah, I felt bad for Moses. He was his teammate.
He couldn't hit,
Okay.
layups.
Draymond Green is a future Hall of Famer. He's a 4-time champion. He lost a 3-point contest to Kevin Hart.
Yeah, that's bad.
Kevin Hart's a comedian.
And he's 5 foot even.
Doesn't matter. You're in the NBA. You cannot lose a 3-point contest if you shoot the. Draymond Green, again, the last 2 games went 4 for 23. 4 for 23 from the floor. And I know Wemby was there, but I actually kind of respect how it didn't seem to faze him. He kept shooting shots.
He was good.
Oh, you know what? How
about Wemby's dunk?
Which one?
Well,
the one off the backboard?
No, that was nice, but the one on Draymond, which they disallowed because there was a foul before the.
Yeah, I thought that should have counted.
So did I.
To be honest. I thought you were talking about the T-Mac where he threw it off the backboard to himself. That was pretty crazy. That's the thing, too. So Curry was the best player in the game, obviously, but Wemby still had some unbelievable plays. And then he was looking down at Draymond because, of course, Draymond's looking up at him like I'm looking up at every one of these NBA players.
Yeah, I think that he's I think the misperception on him is that we think that he's just this nice guy from France. He's got some dog, man. He gets in people's faces. And I like when he huddles the team. He's a leader, man. He's something else. He can't get rooted out that easily. He can't have Draymond Green extend him 30 feet from the hoop.
Well, Draymond does that to a lot of guys.
But if he's just got to play so much closer to the rim.
But if you're not tough, like if you're not physically tough, Draymond Green is going to expose you. And even if you are a physical player, I mean, remember last year what he did to Giannis. Like if you have a part of your game that he can exploit, Giannis can't shoot, so Draymond's going to try and force him into jump shots, and he wasn't making them that night. Wemby doesn't have yet, I think I don't know if it's the mentality or the body, the strength to play inside the paint. And so Draymond's going to allow him to hurt him from the perimeter.
I would say this if I was Mitch Johnson. Even if you're not on the post, and even if you don't have a touch on a possession, and let's just say the ball gets reversed and it's on the other side of the floor, opposite of you, if there's a shot that goes up, I want you in the paint for that. Now, maybe Draymond's going to put a body on you, but you're just too long and you're too big and you're too disruptive not to get in the paint more often than you do. And I'm not just talking about exclusively touches where he's at the post or wherever. I'm just talking about I need to see you physically in the paint because you could keep so many balls alive as he did in the fourth quarter. He had a left-handed tip. It's just he could be so much more effective. I mean, there shouldn't be possessions where I don't see him. And I see a lot of those when I watch San Antonio games. Somebody will come down. Somebody will shoot a wing three. And the other team will get a rebound. They'll go the other way. And I don't even see Wembanyama, even though he's out on the floor.
You mean like the last 2 possessions when De'Aaron Fox missed the go-ahead game winner? All right, on the other side, I want to dig into something Steve Kerr said from earlier this week. And
more sound.
You hate sound.
Wake me up, Boston. We're done hearing from Steve Kerr for the 35th time this week.
Well, we're halfway through the show. What do you mean 35th time this week? You haven't listened to him once.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Thank you, Steve. Appreciate it. All right, Evan Giddings, Dan Devone, Warriors this week. Back after this.
What a game.
This is Larry Fleck, owner of The Floor Store. You know that thing that snuck up on you last year called the holidays? Well, they're coming again. But it's okay, because our pre-holiday sale is already here. Now through November 17th. Everything in the store is 30% off. Carpet, hardwood, laminate, waterproof flooring, I mean everything. And installation before the holidays is guaranteed. It's our biggest sale of the season, but it ends Monday. Go to floorstores.com to find the nearest of our 11 showrooms, from Santa Rosa to San Jose. The Floor Store, your Bay Area flooring authority.
I'm Piera Palazzolo, VP of Digital Marketing for the American Management Association, a company focused on the management training skills needed to enhance the careers of business professionals. We did our research when it came to the best companies for website development and chose AmericanEagle.com. And we couldn't be happier. AmericanEagle.com worked closely with us to understand the front and back end requirements needed to launch an e-commerce website that could handle the complexities of running thousands of seminars nationwide. Our robust new website and improved SEO saw immediate increases in site traffic and web revenue. If you're in need of managerial effectiveness and success, visit our website at amanet.org. If you're in need of a website that provides an unparalleled consumer experience, I highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Transform your business today. Dial 877-WebNow1 for a free digital consultation with AmericanEagle.com.
What if you had the smartest Wi-Fi? If you did, it'd be Xfinity, of course, and it'd come with their best state-of-the-art equipment. It would boost speeds to the devices that needed them most, prioritizing your most important connections, whether you were streaming, gaming, or gaming while pretending to work. And it would let you stream 4. That's right, 4 games on one screen. It would even power your mobile connection so you could bring faster, secure Wi-Fi speeds with you where you use it most. It would be proactive and fix problems before you knew you had them. Impressive, right? And it would have security features that protect you from threats at home and online. Kinda like a force field for your life. If you had the smartest Wi-Fi, well, everything would work together seamlessly to keep you connected, no matter what. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply.
Elevate your kitchen at the Mila Innovation Center at Friedman's Appliance in Pleasant Hill. Out of your dreams and into your kitchen. Select the qualifying built-in kitchen appliance package that is right for you. With unrivaled technology and luxury-grade quality, when you bring home a Mila, you're bringing home true innovation. Now, for a limited time, save up to 10% with the purchase of a qualifying Mila kitchen package. Visit the Mila Innovation Center at Friedman's Appliance in Pleasant Hill or at friedmansappliance.com.
This is Vanessa Deniston, senior attorney at the Dolan Law Firm.
The Dolan Law Firm handles a diverse line of cases from personal injury to employment law.
We're proud to say the Dolan Law Firm is just as diverse in our attorneys and staff. The Dolan Law Firm consistently achieves outstanding results with over $1 billion in verdicts and settlements.
The Dolan Law Firm, the best, most diverse personal injury and employment law firm we hope you'll never need.
Contact us at dolanlawfirm.com.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today. 1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation is super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. That's Cars with a K to donate your car today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Go to carsforkids.org. That's carsforkids.org.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. All so that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Oh, how's that flu, babe? Did you take Dayquil Intense Flu yet?
Nah, I got this. Ugh, okay, I don't got this.
You stay on the couch, and I'll grab the Dayquil.
Undo your flu symptoms with Dayquil Intense Flu. Dayquil Intense Flu provides powerful relief of your flu symptoms.
I'm ready for that to-do list.
Wow, you do got this.
Dayquil Intense Flu. The daytime coughing, aching, fever, under your flu medicine. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Red and Gold Game Day starts at Laughing Monk Brewing. Park for free. Enjoy amazing food, ice-cold beer, and every game on TV. Catch 95.7 The Game's pregame show. Then hop on the free shuttle straight to the stadium. Sign up now at 957thegame.com.
Spins it back. We're tied at 108. 48 for number 30. Curry, second free throw, and the Warriors take the lead, albeit with 6.4 to go. It's 109-108. Theater is not dead in America. It's alive and well in San Antonio, Texas.
Now back to Warriors This Week on 95.7 The Game.
I can listen to that sound.
That was pretty good. You think he's been cooking that up for a minute? I don't think I've ever heard Tim Roy break that one out.
No.
Have you
Wait,
heard it?
real quick, I have another one too, because you guys were talking about Buddy Hield's miscues. Listen to this.
No.
Warriors facing full court pressure. Al Horford will come back, and they throw it away. Fox the steal. Buddy Hield threw it right to him. Keldon Johnson over to Champagnie. Same spot, same shot, same result. That is an inexcusable play.
What's up with our boy this year?
Giovanno?
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you, man.
You know Oklahoma's retiring his number?
I'd believe that.
I saved the day.
That dude was a baller.
Yeah, he was.
He had that one, I think it was the NCAA tournament. Was it the Sweet 16 where he dropped 45 on Oregon? Like,
oh, remember that?
Buddy Buckets.
Yeah.
That dude was something else. I mean, he was... I know once Curry got into the league, everybody was trying to find the next one. And like Trae Young is the guy that usually gets, I think, put into that category because he's a point guard and shot from really deep. But like Buddy Hield that dude was a bad man in college.
Something's up with him now. But this is just sort of who he is. I don't push the panic button with this guy because I do think that at some point he'll have a couple of Buddy games. And then it'll get weird again, and then it'll be Buddy.
Yeah, I think like Buddy's important. Well, they also could use him as a trade chip at the deadline just to kind of match salaries. But I think Buddy, like, what was it? There was 2 months last year where he shot 30%. It was basically phased out. It was December and January.
Yeah, when everybody was terrible. Him and Pajemski, remember that?
Well, and Pods had like the face mask. It was gross. But Buddy's a guy I think you're eventually going to, like, it's funny, you brought up the Laker game earlier in the show and how, everything looked a bit more even. Kuminga was playing well. Jimmy Butler was doing stuff. Curry didn't play well, and they still won. Yeah, Buddy Hield had 20 points off the bench. I think when Hield starts to find his stroke again, the Warriors become a little more dangerous because one of the reasons why, I don't know if we talked about it, but one of the reasons why, like, after game 4, I kind of looked at the team and said, Kuminga might need to come off the bench. It wasn't as much about starting this kind of lineup as it was the second unit just doesn't have anybody who can score. Buddy Hield is a streaky shooter. Pajemski's not a scorer. Moody, who was coming off the bench, is a pretty streaky shooter. Will Richard is a capable shooter, but not going to score a ton of points unless apparently he's playing the Sacramento Kings. And Jimmy Butler is the only dude who basically, Kerr throws him out there when they sort of stagger him in Steph's minutes. He's the only guy that can do anything offensively. So I think, like Kuminga, to me, coming into this year, fit is like the off the bench, sort of gunner point scorer. But, if Buddy Hield comes around, maybe he can help be that guy. I don't know.
Kuminga has just regressed. I don't think a lot of us foresaw this. I think we thought that he had turned the corner.
Oh.
Oh, you thought he was going to be this guy at the end of the day?
No, not this guy, but I think he'll eventually bounce back and get better, but he's kind of always been this guy. Like,
well, no,
he's been good, and then he's been bad, and then he's been good, and then he's been bad.
At the beginning of this year, and taking into account everything, all the drama that we dealt with over the offseason and his contract, that everybody felt as though he got paid, and now he understands. He finally got it. He recognizes after Steve Kerr has been pounding his head, it finally got in. Oh, you want me to rebound? Oh, okay. I understand what I'm supposed to do offensively, and I can still be me. This is what it's like to be a grown-up. But we're right back to Jonathan Kuminga, circa 2023, 2024, 2025. I mean, it's the same old guy.
Well, I think his role changed a little bit, right? So for the first, 5 games, he had to be kind of more of a role guy. And you notice, I think the games where he struggled were the games where he had to kind of play up a notch. Like Curry went out. All right, JK, we need you to score more.
They have to make excuses.
No, but I'm just being honest. Like that's when it shifted for me. At least watching him play. And against Sacramento, like he had a good half, and then he just fell apart in that second half. And then the knees started barking, and it's just like, I just don't think he really fits, because what they need is spacing, and they need guys who take care of the basketball. And he doesn't do either of those things. He doesn't shoot it well enough.
He fits when he's confident and he knows what it is and he's decisive.
Okay, I'm sorry. Like, if you can't be confident, and this is it too, if you can't be confident, number one, in year 5, well then I can't help you. And if you can't be confident, you spent all summer trying to get a contract and or get traded. The latter didn't happen, but the first one did. You're making $23 million this year. So it's not like you're sitting there adjusting to a role and being bounced back and forth, and you're making $7 million and you're worrying about your future. You got what you wanted. You got paid. You got to live with this. Like, if you can't be confident and be paid, he's one of the highest paid players on the team.
Well, that's why it's time to go.
Well, give it a couple months. 888-957-9570 is the number. Dan's favorite segment, Sound, coming up next in just a moment. But before that, we're going to talk to Austin, one of our favorites. Austin in San Jose. Welcome to Warriors This Week, Austin. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, guys. Great conversation. And, 30, man. It's all about 30. And I'm going to change my tune a little bit. I was saying, and I get on Guru all the time about there's no way they would have beaten OKC last year. But now I'm starting to backtrack a little bit. 30 had one of those nights like, you can't do it every night, but man, if he put together one of those things he's been doing the last 2 days, I think anybody's beatable. And it's also, obviously, as we all know, being Warriors, it's the impact he has on the game, and you can kind of see what he does to the other team, man. It's just, the other thing what struck me last night, I think it was really kind of poetic, guys, that he did it against Wemby and Santonio. I think we give our props to Wemby as being the next, maybe the next. But Steph was sent a message last night saying, not so fast. You know what I mean? I'm still here, young man, and you're gonna get yours. But for now, I'm still the king. So I think Steph sent a real strong message, very, very impactful. Really good theater last night. And the one thing I wanted to say, you guys were talking about earlier about the record. You remember when Steph was breaking the 3-point record? You know what was more important, especially the young generation? They cared more about the records than they did about the game. And by that I mean, and Ricky Henderson was kind of the same way. If you remember, when he was doing the steal thing, people didn't really care about the game. They just wanted to see him steal, and it was Steph. They just wanted to see him make threes. So I think it's kind of weird in this day and age we live in, where the Steph brand and who he is can become bigger than the actual outcome of the game and the score, if that makes sense, guys. And then the last thing I wanted to say was that where do we go from here? Well, we're 8-6. We could have been 7-7. I don't think it matters anymore what the seed is, as long as we don't get into we avoid the play-in, guys. I think the Warriors will be dangerous, whether they're the 4th seed, the 6th seed, the 2nd seed. I don't think they even care. I think the players, if you put them under put them under, gave them the truth serum, they wouldn't give a damn where they ended up. So, and then one last thing, Kuminga. You know I'm a Kuminga guy. I've now come to the conclusion, though, Evan, that he's not going to be here. I think it's better for him to move on. I can see a scenario now where he goes somewhere else and probably does better than he does within the Warriors system. I don't think it's going to work. I don't. I think they can be successful without him. But I also think they need to go get another piece. If they can go get a piece that complement what Kerr wants to do, a wing, I think they need to go get a shooting wing. Somebody like Trey Murphy, that kind of an athlete, Devin Vassell, that kind of stretch guy that's longer on the wing that can shoot. That's what I think they kind of lack. So, yeah, man, I think we got a lot to look up forward to. It's really fun to see 30 go off last night, guys. Thanks again.
Thanks, Austin. Good call as always. Yeah, I think to kind of start where he did, I don't know, did it have you feeling differently about last year? Because I remember you and I were talking during the playoffs about how last postseason was going to be their shot. And it was as much about the Warriors as it was, well, it's going to be hard to get OKC once they got championship pedigree. And now they do. I wonder how they would have fared against Oklahoma City. I do feel more confident now that they would have beaten Minnesota. Like, I think that is almost a foregone conclusion with the way that Curry remained.
Well, I wouldn't say foregone conclusion because you never know.
Well, someone else could have gotten hurt, but I'm saying if he stayed healthy, I feel pretty good that they would have beaten the Timberwolves.
Well, that's tough to do because he wasn't healthy, and why wasn't he healthy? It's because he expended so much energy in getting to the playoffs. Keep in mind, it wasn't just a play-in game, and it wasn't just going 7 games against Houston. It was the last month of the year where they had to go, 23-4, 23-5, whatever that number, that ridiculous one-loss record was when they got Jimmy Butler. They needed every one of those wins, and guess what? Even finishing with a flurry at 23-4, they were still in the play-in game. And so I don't know how effective he would have been. The one thing we know about Steph up to this point, I think the one thing that I take away from the early part of the season is that when Steph is well rested, the Golden State Warriors are a good basketball team. If Steph, as well as the rest of those guys, find themselves in a flurry of games or a condensed schedule, they got all these road trips, whether it's at Milwaukee, Indiana, ugliness, Steph and the rest of the guys are not very good. Well rested, you got a chance, and Steph could be as good as anybody. And yes, he could slay the dragon. That includes OKC. But at this age, rest is imperative. It's everything.
Well, that's why, to me, when I saw this road trip combined with the amount of, back-to-backs that they've had to play. So I was looking at this, Dan. By the end of this road trip, when they finish in Miami on Wednesday, they will have played 5 back-to-backs in their first 17 games. No other team will have played more than 3. They will have played, it's like the amount of days where they've had to travel right before. So they're getting into town and then playing it. They'll have played more than any other team in the league. So I think the schedule has hurt them from that standpoint, combined with them obviously being a lot older. They're ill-equipped to handle a schedule of this rigor. But it eventually, at some point, is going to soften. So them stealing 2 games in San Antonio is big, because if they had come back 8-9, I don't think that would have been the end of the world. And that would have meant they'd gone 2-4 over this road trip. And I guess technically that, they could lose the next 3. I don't think it's going to happen, but they could. I still just think they're in survival mode at the beginning of this year because of how rigorous the schedule's been, how old their team is. And so nights like last night are important because you steal a game that you weren't supposed to get. And to your point, I do push back a little bit on Austin from the standpoint of they don't care what seed they are. I think they do. And I think top 6 is the seed they want because, to your point, last year they learned that there are ramifications for having to play in basketball. And that is you're behind the 8 ball. And then maybe you're not ready to close a series as quickly as you want. And there's an effect of playing more and playing deeper into a series against a team that you were up 3-1 against, that you could have won Game 6 at home against. But instead you blew that game and you had to go to Houston. And Steph had to play 44 minutes in that game. There are consequences for not finishing high in the standings. And I'm hoping that this year is a year where they, I guess, are able to thread that needle.
Yeah, it's really simple. You give these older guys, especially Steph Curry, rest, and you get what it is that you saw in San Antonio. You know, when you don't want it to happen, but you think about Steph, some of his best basketball, and the years they've won titles, their last titles, Steph missed a good chunk of the season. And it inadvertently gives him load management, right? So he's not playing. And
I think he missed the last 15 games of the year they won the championship.
Nobody wants to see him get the flu early on in the season, but a well-rested Steph where he has a couple of days off, you get what it is that you saw in San Antonio. But is that sustainable?
I don't think it is.
You know, OKC, really quick, I know they're scared. I told this to you last year, and this is why I like to go out on a limb. You don't give me any credit, but that's fine because I wasn't right. When I said last year, OKC is not, even though they were the proverbial favorite, they're not going to win the title.
Did you say that?
Yeah, I said because, and they were the number one seed, and everybody was like San Antonio, or excuse me, everybody was OKC, and I was the one guy in the room saying, nah, they're going to get beat.
Mm-hmm.
And I said that it's because younger teams don't necessarily fare well in the postseason. That, albeit they were good and dominant in the regular season, the postseason is such a different animal, and younger players get exposed. And usually you have to hit your head up against that wall a couple of times before you break through and become a championship team. That's typically the pedigree when you look at historically NBA champions. And that didn't happen to OKC, but if you think about it, that Game 7 they got pushed to against Denver was playing hurt. They didn't have Aaron Gordon available.
Well, he was just playing with a hamstring.
Or he played, but he was like at 40%.
Yeah.
And then you think about going 7 against Indiana. Like that was the opportunity, I think, to knock them off. The worst thing that happened to the Western Conference and the rest of the NBA is that they won that title and they went to the postseason and they got that experience. That was the one caveat you could say if you're going to clip them, it was going to happen last year.
Well, you can make the case that if Halliburton doesn't tear his Achilles in Game 7, they might have lost. You know, to your point, like they were gettable last year. They played 2 7-game series, the last of which obviously in the NBA Finals. Denver was the team that I think a lot of people had pegged, but Gordon is awesome. He might be their second best player right now, but there was something.
Jamal Murray's averaging like over 30. He's crazy this year.
Yeah, that team looks really good. Although they just lost Christian Brown for 4 to 6 weeks, and Cam Johnson
still bad. Oh yeah, what's going on with it? You know what's funny?
You remember last year when everyone was saying that Cam Johnson was going to be the elixir to solve the Warriors' woes? Like give up the picks. Give them Kuminga. Give them 2 first-round picks. Give them it wasn't Kuminga. Maybe it was Kuminga too. But Wiggins. You know, give up everything for Cam Johnson. Go all in for Cam Johnson. What are we talking about? He's a good player.
He's better than this.
Yeah, but he ain't that good. He's like the 4th best player of that team. He's really good by the way, when the Suns went to the NBA Finals, which is what everybody was throwing back at, Cam Johnson's got postseason experience. I'm pretty sure he was the 6th man on that team. Yes. He only started 11 games.
One nugget when we're talking about the Nuggets, just stay on them for a moment.
Yeah.
So the Morris twins and the Jokic brothers.
I know where you're going.
Like they're getting after it again, and the Morris twins
they're so stupid, the Morris twins.
God, this has to happen. They want to fight him in a ring.
What, like a Jake Paul type of showdown?
I'm just, again, I told you about Strango, what's his brother's name? The Joker's brother is the largest human. I told you when I saw this guy going into court, how I've never seen somebody that immense.
Wait. Court?
Yeah, because he punched. Remember I was telling you this story early on. He got into a fight at a Nugget game. I'm not talking about the Joker. I'm talking about his brother. His brothers are telling the game.
Yeah.
On the basketball court.
No, not on the basketball court. He got into a fight in the stands.
That's a 3 pasta.
And so he had to do the perp walk or something. So he's walking through with his attorney in this suit. He has no neck. He's 6'11", and he's pushing 4 bills. He's like 400 pounds. But it's not fat. It's just that crazy girth. Then I was reading this story. You know how they love horses and they race horses? It's just like a mule once they kicked him in the head.
They are horses.
And he got kicked in the head, and he's like, yeah, I'm okay. I mean, I just think these guys, to see the Joker and him against the Morris brothers, I'd watch that.
Well, isn't there another Jokic brother?
There's 3 of them, yeah.
Yeah, so I'll take any combination of the 2. Or any 2 of the 3. You could Nikola, who's by the way the baby, like he's the baby of the 3. I'll take his 2 older brothers against the Morris twins.
Well, the Morris twins are saying, yeah, everybody thinks that, but I'm 6'10", and I'm like, I'm a big dude too. And the thing that they don't have is athleticism. Like when you come to boxing and fighting, we're athletes. They're not. I mean, they're serious about this.
Oh, I thought it was like a street fight or something. It's not going to go the way they think it's going to go. All right, your favorite time of the show, Dan. Let's get into some sound. All right, while Dan takes a nap over there, I want you to listen to what Steve Kerr said about Draymond Green's agenda comments. It was very telling.
It's just the way Draymond put it, and I know exactly what he was saying. I just wouldn't put it that way because I don't think there's any individual player who is, not committed to winning. I think what happens is we get misguided. We don't realize, some of the things we're doing are not conducive to winning. Sometimes guys try too hard. And so trying too hard can be, not committed to winning also. So it's never a conscious decision. It's just, the margin for error and, between winning and losing in the NBA is so small. You lose a couple games and you get slightly out of sync. Ball's not moving quite fast enough, or you turn it over too many times, or you're not rebounding. And all of a sudden, you get blown out. It looks like you have no energy because you're dejected. That's what Draymond was talking about. And it feels like a lack of commitment to winning, I guess, but it's really more just, hey, man, this is the greatest league in the world, and we're out of sync, and we've got to refocus our efforts and what we're trying to accomplish.
Oh, you're looking at me like that. I think that Draymond Green said it the way that Kerr wishes he could say it.
I agree. That's cleaning it up.
Yeah, he's right. He wouldn't say it like that. That's why they're very different. But I also think that they are kindred spirits in the sense they speak the same competitive language. They just talk differently. Like Kerr's more political, has I think a little more emotional awareness, should we say. Draymond Green is very cut and dry, straight to the point. But they're both talking about the same thing. Whether you want to call it agendas or pressing, they both understand that this team was not looking the way that it should. And Kerr's saying, in fact, I thought what Draymond did, which is they're playing as individuals. They're trying too hard, and as a result, they're playing more like 5 individual guys as opposed to one collective unit.
I can pretty much tell you why they weren't playing well during that stretch. Is because Steph Curry wasn't available. But no, it is fascinating. Before we get to the break, it is such a fine line, isn't it, in the NBA? When you looked at that team, again, that didn't have Steph Curry against Indiana, and then they did have him against Oklahoma, but he was still sick. But when you don't have energy and you don't have that enthusiasm and you're not buying in and there's no confidence, you look like an entirely different team than the one that took the floor against San Antonio. It's just that fine line of a team that is doing the little things to win. And they look like an entirely different squad against Oklahoma. And it wasn't about anybody doing, well, Steph, obviously, but everybody else, it's just about ramping up their energy and just, being that team that is engaged. That's all it is.
Well, that's why I think, so on Wednesday was a little bit of a different story because they were down 16 points. Like, they didn't look very good in the first half. And actually, the starting unit that they changed, which we can talk about more on the other side, didn't play very well. But having Steph out there is so settling that I think Kerr is talking about energy and not getting down on yourself. It's a lot easier to do that when you have Steph Curry in your corner. All right, 1 hour left here on Warriors This Week. Evan Giddings and Dan Devone taking your calls at 888-957-9570 Also, the Boxer and Gerson work injury attorneys text line. Hit us. 1 more hour left until noon on a Saturday on 95.7 The Game.
Black Friday is coming, and that's the smart time to shop for a top-rated TV from Samsung, LG, or Sony. But why wait? You can get those Black Friday TV deals right now at Video Only, and then enjoy Thanksgiving with your new TV. Still want to wait? Then how about better than Black Friday deals? The top-rated TVs at stupid low prices. Check out Video Only now before the rush, or you'll be sorry.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code CODE to get an extra 35 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code CODE for a 35 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code CODE for a 35 cents per gallon bonus.
Do you often worry you left the garage door open? With a LiftMaster garage door opener powered by MyQ, you'll never worry again. You can control, secure, and monitor your garage from your smartphone anytime, from anywhere through the MyQ app. As an authorized LiftMaster dealer, Ace's Garage Door Repair and Installation has smart openers designed for your needs, including belt drive motors for ultra-quiet operation, integrated camera for live video, streaming, and battery backup to let you in when the power is out. Trust Ace's Garage Door Repair and Installation for top-notch service and unbeatable reliability. Whether you need a quick fix, a complete replacement, or a brand new installation for your garage door or garage door opener, our skilled technicians are here to get the job done right. With competitive prices, a commitment to quality, and diamond certification, Aces has you covered. Call today at 855-588-2237 or visit acegd.com. That's acegd.com. Aces Garage Door Repair and Installation, where your garage door is our priority.
Hey, this is Joe Shasky from 95.7 The Game. Want to hear something super? Well, Merit America wants to get you on the path to a super new high-paying career with free coaching and training. And the first step is a super job working at the super big game. Go to meritamerica.org/super and see how you can sign up for super career training in HR, logistics, data analysis, and much more for free. So go to meritamerica.org/super. This is a super opportunity, and it's brought to you by Merit America.
Wow, look at these Black Friday deals on TVs. Samsung, Sony, and LG at the lowest prices of the year, even on their top-rated models. Now we can get that top-rated Samsung we were thinking about, but we'll need to get up early on Friday.
These are great deals, but why wait? Video Only has all these deals right now. We can get what we want today, and they're even offering no-interest financing.
So we can get these Black Friday deals right now at Video Only and pay it off later?
Yep, and many of their prices are better than those flyers.
Better than Black Friday? No wonder Video Only got those high scores when they rated TV stores. Let's head over now and beat the crowds.
At Video Only, you won't find huge stores with refrigerators or dishwashers, but you will find the best deals on the best TVs, soundbars, and home theater systems. Shop around, but then make sure you visit Video Only, because if you don't, you'll be sorry.
In Mountain View, San Mateo, Union City, Dublin, and San Rafael.
Video Only.
What if you had the smartest Wi-Fi? If you did, it'd be Xfinity, of course, and it'd come with their best state-of-the-art equipment. It would boost speeds to the devices that needed them most, prioritizing your most important connections, whether you were streaming, gaming, or gaming while pretending to work. And it would let you stream 4. That's right, 4 games on one screen. It would even power your mobile connection so you could bring faster, secure Wi-Fi speeds with you where you use it most. It would be proactive and fix problems before you knew you had them. Impressive, right? And it would have security features that protect you from threats at home and online. Kinda like a force field for your life. If you had the smartest Wi-Fi, well, everything would work together seamlessly to keep you connected, no matter what. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply.
Hi, I'm Chef Franklin Becker. You know the jingle. Now discover the facts about Ozempic, a GLP-1. There's only one FDA-approved Ozempic made by Novo Nordisk. Learn about the real thing.
Talk to your healthcare professional today. Call 1-833-OZEMPIC or visit Ozempic.com to view the medication guide and to learn more about Ozempic. Semaglutide injection 0.5, 1, and 2 milligrams.
I'm Piera Palazzolo, VP of Digital Marketing for the American Management Association, a company focused on the management training skills needed to enhance the careers of business professionals. We did our research when it came to the best companies for website development and chose AmericanEagle.com. And we couldn't be happier. AmericanEagle.com worked closely with us to understand the front and back end requirements needed to launch an e-commerce website that could handle the complexities of running thousands of seminars nationwide. Our robust new website and improved SEO saw immediate increases in site traffic and web revenue. If you're in need of managerial effectiveness and success, visit our website at amanet.org. If you're in need of a website that provides an unparalleled consumer experience, I highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Transform your business today. Dial 877-WEBNOW1 for a free digital consultation with AmericanEagle.com.
Stand-up comedian Tom Segura is coming back to the Bay Area with his Come Together tour. He'll be performing at the Paramount Theater in Oakland on November 30th. Get your tickets at livenation.com. For a chance to win your way into the show, enter online at 957thegame.com.
I'm Bob Burke, founder and chairman of Burke America Parts Group, a family of brands that includes RepairClinic.com, an appliance and HVAC parts solution company that's grown into an international brand. Before AmericanEagle.com, we partially launched a new technology platform developed by another firm. American Eagle helped take our technology to a whole new level with digital marketing, software development, and business insights into our key markets, appliances, HVAC, and outdoor power equipment, and did so both on time and on budget. AmericanEagle.com has the resources, experience, and talent needed to produce solutions. Our new technology platform, developed by AmericanEagle.com, has produced tremendous results with higher traffic, conversion, engagement, and online revenue. If you have any home repairs you need to take care of, check us out at RepairClinic.com. If you need a world-class website or technology project, then I would highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Call AmericanEagle.com at 773-NETWORK. That's AmericanEagle.com, 773-NETWORK.
You're listening to 95.7 The Game, KGMZ-FM in HD1 San Francisco on Odyssey Sports Station. Always live on the free Odyssey app, Twitch, and YouTube. Powered by First NorCal Credit Union. Now back to Warriors This Week on 95.7 The Game.
All right, Evan Giddings, Dan Devone, 2 hours in the books, 1 hour to go. Taking your calls at 888-957-9570, reacting to the week that was, a 3-1 week. I had him at 2-2, but no. The chef said he wanted one more. 3-1, back to 8-6. Balance is restored, Dan. You know, on Saturday, last time we talked, sky was falling. Wednesday, Draymond's calling out teammates. Kerr's saying that there's not enough fire in the belly of a lot of these guys. And 2 games later, 2 45 burgers later, which, by the way, has only been done at an age advanced of Steph Curry by the one Michael Jordan, things are back to being even keel. But feels like a little bit of a reset.
Do you still think they're on solid footing?
No. No, I don't. I mean, I think they should beat the Pelicans tomorrow, but you know, Orlando, Miami's a tough back-to-back. Like this season is going to be a lot like what we've seen so far through the first 14 games. Is some nights they're going to look freaking old, and we're going to wonder how in the hell is this team going to make it to the postseason? And if they get there, how are they going to win not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 playoff series? And then there's going to be a night like last night, off the heels of the night before, which, by the way, in a little bit of a way, kind of mirrored what a potential postseason could look like because you have, the day of rest, you play the same team, same place. But there's going to be nights like last night where you're like, dude, the Warriors can beat anybody. You know what I mean?
Well, Steph can beat anybody.
Well, he does wear the Warriors jersey, so the Warriors can beat anybody.
Because the issue that I still have with this team, even with Jimmy Butler.
You got a lot of issues with this team. Let's be honest.
They're still one-dimensional. And they always will be, obviously, as long as Steph is upright and doing his thing. But I thought we closed that gap a little bit with the addition of Jimmy Butler. But it's still all about – because remember Butler towards the latter part of last year when things were going well, the addition, and they were sort of trading places and, it looked like it was Butler's team at times. He changed the entire tempo. And it was just so clear what it is that he meant. And they're like, you could say, oh, hey, this is a Batman Robin sort of scenario here with the Warriors. Now I feel like we're right back to Steph has got to be special in order for you to have a puncher's shot.
Well, I think there were nights last year, to your point about Jimmy, where it felt like he could be Batman for a night. He's Robin, obviously. Curry's the best player, but there were nights where he could take over.
Yeah.
I'm Batman.
It doesn't really look like that's the case. It looked a lot like the few games that Curry has missed. It kind of looked a lot like the Minnesota series where, and I don't know if it's because people are throwing all attention at Jimmy and he can't really conjure it up that much anymore, but the days of him willing a squad to victory and you being a successful team over a long period of time through that method, those days are gone. Like it really does hinge on the legs of a 37-year-old, which is crazy. But that's also the way that they built the team. As much as I feel like that's a foolhardy task, there are some smart people that work in that organization, and they felt like this was the best way to attack this. And I think there are some reinforcements coming, obviously. Seth Curry was available to be signed on the 11th, and they're waiting. But DeAnthony Melton's going to return. And I don't think you're getting back, like you're not getting Jalen Williams back, which is what Oklahoma City eventually will be. But I think that gives you some more depth. That gives you some more perimeter defense, obviously more of a 3-and-D guy. I know he had some good returns last year in the 6 games that he played for him. So he should help a little bit. But I think that the biggest issue I have with this team is it is about Steph, but it's like they've gotten virtually nothing from their center position. Virtually nothing.
I think Horford was better. He's not shooting it well, but he was good and blocking shots and playing good defense. I know it's something we don't pay a lot of attention to because we're just focused on him being a stretch 5 and hitting short corner threes, but maybe not good, but much better than he has been in terms of his contribution.
Well, defensively, he's been good, but I think also it's because you get nothing defensively from Post. So it's kind of like a trade-off. Post is supposed to be a guy that is hitting shots, and when he doesn't, he's not very valuable because he's going to be a turnstile on D. But Horford is a guy that can at least defend a little bit, and he just has not been able to hit a shot. He hit a couple on the Wednesday game. He hit 3 threes on Wednesday, but if I'm thinking down the line and like what does this team need, it's not necessarily like a true 7-footer. Maybe it is a wing. I don't know. They just try and go small, but it's got to be somebody that can help preserve Draymond Green for the long haul. Because I think eventually they're best with him at the 5 and Jimmy at the 4. And I know they're going to be small no matter what, but I think that works for them. But to your point about Curry of making sure that he's healthy, I do think we also have to think about how they keep Draymond healthy. Because there was an article that was written this week, and it's glaring, that when Draymond's on the floor, they're the second-rated defense in the league. When he's off the floor, they're 29th. And so I got to figure out how we get that version of Draymond when we get to the postseason and for these big games. And
it's not by playing him at the 5.
No, it's not. But that's the thing. Like you saw the difference between them the first, what was it? I guess 12 games. They were good. Like they had some nice wins, and against Denver, Al Horford played well enough and all that. But like they're clearly at their best when they go small.
Al Horford, the addition of him, and I said this to you last week, and I'll repeat it, that it's just that kind of speaks towards the Warriors' arrogance when it comes to getting players. It's like we have our crosshairs on Al Horford. He'll fit into our system. He's a cerebral player. He's a stretch 5. That's exactly who we want. And sometimes you just have to get young, and you have to get young legs, and you have to dismiss this whole idea, well, it's the Warrior way. It's the Warrior culture. That's how you end up getting old and other teams passing you by and you being in the midst of a rebuild for the next decade. You know who you should have got? And you're going to laugh at this.
Brook Lopez?
Who's available? Mark Williams. Remember the guy who was traded to the Lakers?
I think he's hurt right now.
He's doing exactly what it is that you're asking for with Phoenix. And Phoenix, by the way, as much as we want to laugh at them, hey, better record than the Warriors. And I'm just saying, Mark Williams is a guy.
That team has played some stinkers, though.
And they won't be very good, I don't think, when it's all said and done with. But I do think that Jalen Green and Devin Booker and Grace, it's a different.
Mark Williams or DeAndre Ayton?
Who was the guy that was traded to the Los Angeles Lakers?
Oh, that was Mark Williams.
Mark Williams, the kid out of Duke.
Mm-hmm.
He was traded from Charlotte. And, he gets dealt to the Los Angeles Lakers, and then for whatever reason, they revoked the trade because of a physical, right?
Well, yeah, because he's got underlying issues with, he can't stay on the floor. Now, I'm with you. When he's on the floor, he's actually one of the more efficient offensive centers in the league.
But my point being is that the Warriors would never entertain somebody like that. No, it's Al Horford. Al Horford's best years are clearly behind him. How can you not forecast that the guy is going to turn into a pumpkin eventually? And it could be this offseason. He's old. But the Warriors are just so focused on, we want to do it our way, which is different. We zag when everybody's zigging. And that's, that's part of the frustration when you think about the composition of this basketball team.
Well, I think the issue with someone like a Mark Williams, and it does come back to Draymond. I think one of the reasons why they're best at the 5 with Draymond is because they can put another shooter out there. If Mark Williams is on the floor, Draymond he's offensively irrelevant because he can't shoot. You just saw him go 4 for 23 in the last 2 games when there's a capable rim protector. And you need him defensively, but offensively, he's a minus. Unless he's surrounded by shooters.
Why is he going to play with... You don't need it. He's not playing with Draymond. He's not starting.
Mark Williams?
If he's with the Warriors?
The whole point is they can't find a center that can play alongside Dre. I think that's why Post starts, is because he can shoot threes. That's why they identified Horford, because he can shoot threes. He's supposed to be able to.
He's averaging over 11 points a game. That's 60% from the floor.
Yeah, but look at the rest of the Suns. They just have a ton of shooting around him.
No, and I'm just I understand what you're saying, and Mark Williams is not a guy that I'm really big on. But I'm just saying that the Warriors would never entertain a young big that has just raw upside that maybe you can cultivate into your culture. It's always these sort of DeAnthony Melton, or let's bring him back, or the Al Horfords of the world. There's got to be, and then you stumble on somebody like Will Richard, and it should open up some eyes. It's like, holy crap, this is what young dudes who are springy, they can get up and down the floor, they can complement the other players we have.
But I also think that Will Richard is the kind of player that Steve Kerr likes to use. He's a Warriors prototype. You watch him, he knows where to be. He cuts. He is not a turnstile defensively. He can knock down some open shots. But he's not a game changer. He's a quality, he's a good role player. And I guess that's where we were fighting last week. It's not that I'm saying that Will Richards is a bad player. He's clearly good. But if you have a bunch of Will Richards, you're going nowhere. He's a guy that you have to, he's someone who surrounds the talent. And I feel like it's you kind of have to choose. You have to choose whether you want to empower a guy like Draymond, or if you want to do something like what the Houston Rockets do, which is they rotate 3 centers, and they have 2 bigs on the floor, it feels like, at all times. And their whole strength is just size. They're going to try and beat the crap out of you. But the Warriors, I understand. Horford to me was not a game-changing signing, but I understood why they did it. It's because in order to make sure that Draymond is at his best, and I think the Warriors are at theirs, you have to have someone who spaces the floor next to him. And this is from the 510. So this is an interesting suggestion, which I don't know if you saw this week, but Boxer and Gerson work injury attorney's text line. The Warriors need an AD, Anthony Davis, who has been rumored to potentially be involved in a trade upcoming in a couple months because Dallas is in disarray, but shooting, rim protection. Like, does Anthony Davis do it for you?
I don't think he fits well with the Warriors. And his contract is ridiculous. It's like, I don't know, maybe you can find it. It's like 38 this year, maybe 40 next year. I think his last year he's pulling $62 million, if I'm not mistaken.
I think you might be right. Yeah.
What's he making the last year?
He just stepped into his new extension. So 54, 58, 62. And it's a player option when he's 34 years old. You want that?
No. And you're right. Dallas, you talk about timelines.
Oh, God.
You just got to build around Flag right now. Just build around
What
Cooper.
else are you going to build around? Brandon Williams? A lot of guys didn't even know who that was.
Luka.
Easy. By the way, like, after thinking about it, I do kind of feel bad for Nico Harrison.
Here we go.
Look, I've had some time to sit on it, put it on the other side of the pillow.
I'll say he's an idiot.
Well, he was. But I got to give him the benefit. Although he did mess up the Curry, the Curry meeting back when he was a Nike rep.
What benefit of the doubt? I want to hear this. Can we pipe in Dallas somehow? Can we just get to the airwaves of?
No, it's like clearly the owner is trying to do something nefarious with that organization, and Nico Harrison was a part of his bidding. But he should have been fired the moment he traded Luka Doncic, because the moment you do something like that, your job is on the line. Unless you win.
But the owner endorsed the trade.
Well, the owner might have been at the forefront of the trade. I don't know.
That's why you couldn't trade him right afterwards.
Yeah, but how do you not get Austin Reeves? How do you not get a second first-round pick? How do you get a broken Anthony Davis who's got $160 million left on his contract, and God love him, but Max Christie?
Max Christie is a good player.
He's fine. He's good. He's good.
Worst trade in the
Warriors.
history of They always say the Herschel Walker was the worst trade, when Walker was traded from the Cowboys to the Minnesota Vikings. And at the time, Dallas got all those picks, which became the foundational pieces for their Super Bowl runs with Troy Aikman and company.
Pasta probably knows this. Didn't the Red Sox trade Babe Ruth for a washing machine?
Traded him for money.
They traded him for money because the owner was a playwright and needed to fund his play.
And if you can tell me the name of that play, do you want to say it together?
Death of a Salesman.
I don't even know the name of the play.
Well, look it up. I could be wrong. Bye-bye Babette.
Is that why they call him the Babe?
No.
He was definitely Babe before that, but it is...
Bye-bye Babette or something like that?
Hang on.
All right. Well,
anyways,
that's my submission for the worst trade ever.
You're probably right.
Oh, recent memory. The Lakers are good, and the Mavericks have fallen off a cliff. I guess it did help them get the first overall pick, but that was not intentional. So yeah, Nico Harrison ain't doing too well. Pasta, while you look for that, can we go to a
No, Nanette?
Oh, no, Nanette. All
no, Nanette. Well, that's pretty good. Bye, Babette is.
You hit all the synonyms.
That's pretty close. I'll give you the bucket. You can count it.
Hey, come on, for random knowledge.
Bye, Babette. No, Nanette.
No, Nanette.
I know there was alliteration somewhere along the line.
there was. I was like when I. Who did I think?
I dare you to top that useless knowledge today.
Well, I always misremember Pasta's girlfriend's name.
Adrian!
Yeah,
Adriana.
It's Adriana, but I always call her Adrian, so sorry, Pasta. Can we go to our...
They're getting married this year.
No. You need to stop that. You need to stop putting his business out there.
Relax.
No, she's a loyal P1. She's listening to this, and we don't want her to get any ideas. Pasta's... He's in the shallow end right now.
We talked about a while.
I'm not even in the pool.
Well, you're a different animal altogether.
Yeah. Yeah, Pasta's got agendas. You're right, 408. You are absolutely correct. All right, let's go to a man with, I don't know, we could call him an agenda. He's always got something to say.
Wait, you're going to go to Pods, right?
No, I'm going to go to Mitch in New Jersey. We're going to go to Mitch in New Jersey. What's up, Mitch?
You just got moved up.
Good afternoon,
Mitch, for crying out loud.
What's up, Mitch?
How's it going, Evan?
You slid up in the batting order.
Thanks for taking my call.
Absolutely.
What's the batting order?
You slid up, Boba.
Why don't we get guys that are older? We should be getting the younger guys. Okay, any way you can make a trade so the team gets younger. And let's not put Curry. He's not like Willie Mays when he finished his career at the Mets. He can only pinch hitting like that. He still can play a lot. They're not playing every game, so I don't know what's this bit about getting overworked. And I wish they could trade Draymond Green to somebody. But these two guys, they have one small school. One guy was taking the second round.
Oh,
They're both Hall of Famers, first ballot, right? And one more thing, this knock on Davis, the trade. I thought that trade was kind of even. It wasn't so lopsided. Anthony Davis is a Hall of Famer too. He's just a little older and gets hurt, but he plays tough position.
I was saying, wait for it. He's either going to give us a crazy name to trade for, or he's going to say something absolutely absurd, and you fulfilled. You checked all the boxes again, Mitch. I love you, brother.
One more thing.
Yep.
Ohtani, he is some play. A guy like that win 3 MVPs in a row. Amazing. That's the worst trade ever. I think the Angels not even getting anything for the guy. Let him walk.
Hey, Mitch.
Thanks, guys.
Mitch.
Yeah, no worries, Mitch.
You there? Mitch.
I'm right here.
Any gabagool? Yeah. Any gabagool on the table for Thanksgiving at your house?
It's the only time I have turkey, and I prefer the white meat.
Aren't you Italian?
And mashed potatoes.
No, you're not Italian.
No, I'm half a Colombian, half Russian and Jewish. I keep the Russian out. I usually don't mention that.
We don't even want to.
Thanks, Mitch. Appreciate the call. What are you doing, Dan?
I always thought we talked like Italian food. Maybe I got the wrong guy.
White meat. That might be the craziest take that Mitch has ever had.
No, but
white meat is better than dark meat.
Boy, what's wrong with that? I had to be honest with you. I'm not a turkey guy.
Yeah, but if
I like OnlyFans. Oh, come on.
But if you're going to eat turkey,
can I just give
some
the
white meat's good, but
on that?
Jesus.
You guys were talking about novels that you've read. You were talking about how academic you were, and so I was just trying to be the on the other side of the coin and inject some humor that I haven't read anything and I watch OnlyFans.
It's not the other side of the coin. It's the other side of the bank. Dude, you took the extreme side to where Mitch was from.
Have you
He's
ever
from Russia.
watched OnlyFans? Have you ever subscribed? Be honest right now.
No, I'd never subscribed to an OnlyFans site, a porn site, whatever other site.
Well,
never.
Porn's free.
That's what I'm saying. I would never
subscribe. Be on top? Jeez, Pasta.
Okay, Pasta, how many of these do you have?
Hands down. But put your hand. Come on.
I think that's it.
All right. Let me hear from this guy. I want to talk to the guy who wants to talk about pods.
Well, I want to give him his just due. We gave Mitch 7 minutes. I want to give Lou and Hayward all the time you get. Lou, I promise, because we got to hit a break here in like a minute. I want to give you your full runway. We'll roll out the red carpet for you. Dan Devone's going to figure out if you're Jewish, Russian, Asian, whatever on the other side. We're going to dig deep with you. We want to talk about pods. I promise we'll talk to you and give you your full allotment on the other side. Real quick, 510. Worst trades. Robert Parrish and the number 3 pick, which became
Kevin McHale
for Joe Barry Carroll. And he also submits, or she, John Elway for Chris Hinton and a first-round pick.
Well, Chris Hinton was a very, very, I want to say, perennial all-Pro Bowl performer as an offensive lineman. But
they also kind of had to trade Elway.
Yeah.
Because he wasn't going to play there.
Yeah.
He wasn't going to play there.
Give me another one.
Bad trade.
Oh, is that it for the list?
Well, that was just from the Boxer and Gerson work injury attorney's text line. Oh. Well, I'm trying to think of a Warriors one. I'll come up with... Oh, Chris Carter. Chris Webber. Jesus.
Let's go to a break.
I'm thinking about bye-bye Baguette. Or was it Babbitt? No, Nanette. That's going to stick with me. I'm off my rocker. Giddings and Devone back after this. Warriors this week, 95.7 The Game.
This year's ratings of the best TVs just got published, and Samsung, LG, and Sony scored the highest. Also, they warned about the poor performance of the bargain brands promoted at some stores. So where can you get the best deal on the top-rated TVs? At the club? Online? Nope. At Video Only. They've got their better than Black Friday deals on right now. Don't be sorry. Check out Video Only before you buy.
Hey, it's your boy Guru. Every time we put a rat on the table during our show, it's brought to you by Atco Pest Control. Atco Pest Control is a family-owned local business proud to provide pest control in the Bay Area for over 35 years. Atco uses natural methods to give you a peace of mind and keep your family out of harm's way. Quality pest control doesn't have to empty your savings either. Don't wait. Go to AtcoPestControl.com for all your pest control needs. They got you covered.
For families with autism, the holidays can be a time of isolation and loneliness. Many with autism are sensory sensitive, making events with loud noises and bright lights overwhelming. Most weekends, the Autism Society San Francisco Bay Area creates autism-friendly hikes, swim parties, trampoline events, sensory-friendly concerts, and other outings that bring the community together. To learn how you can help, go to sfautismsociety.org. That's sfautismsociety.org. This message was made possible by Pettinelli Financial.
An official message from Medicare.
Medicare plans change from one year to the next. And this year, it's important for you to review your current coverage and compare all your options during Medicare open enrollment. Compare health plans, drug coverage, and costs. See if you can save some money, and don't forget to make sure your drugs are covered. Open enrollment ends December 7th. Visit Medicare.gov or call 1-800-MEDICARE.
Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Doors and loading dock equipment are a crucial part of your business, and one you probably don't think much about until they break. A broken door or dock leveler can be a real security threat, along with disturbing the flow of goods in your business. Luckily, RNS is here for all your commercial door, dock, and gate needs. From overhead doors and security shutters to fire-rated and personnel doors, RNS can provide your business with safety and security. Call 800-FIX-A-DOOR to schedule a free estimate or visit rsdoors.com. RNS Doors. Look for the red truck.
All guests on 95.7 The Game appear on the River Islands guest line.
Dub Nation, this is Jimmy Butler, and you never know when I'll be on the River Islands guest line.
Dub Nation, this is Stephen Curry, and you never know when I'll be on the River Islands guest line. So make sure to keep it locked on 95.7 The Game.
River Islands in Lathrop is the best-selling master plan community in all of Northern California, with its lakes, parks, trails, and collection of new home neighborhoods. The good life can be your life. Isn't it time for you to discover the islands?
I spent 14 years in foster care, mostly in group homes. I slept in a lot of different rooms, but none of them really felt like mine.
There are more than 100,000 children in foster care waiting to be adopted. The Dave Thomas Foundation for Adoption is working to help find them a permanent home.
Now I have my own room, a place that's mine, and a family who loves and supports me.
If you have room in your home or your heart, see how you can help at davethomasfoundation.org.
Nobody had to tell your grandparents not to drive while using their typewriters. Why should it be any different for us kids and our cell phones? Distracted driving was the cause of more than 3,000 deaths in 2022. Come on, we're smarter than this. Let's put down the phones and focus on the roads. Drive safe, everybody.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
In sports, success is about team effort, and the same is true for your hair. At Great Clips, we save your haircut details in clip notes, so every member of the highly skilled team knows exactly how to create your signature look. And with our easy-to-use app, you can check in from anywhere and get a ready next text when you're up next for a cut. It's the confidence of a great haircut delivered by a team you trust. Download our app today. Great Clips. It's gonna be great.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility, he knows keeping the line up and running is a top priority. That's why he chooses Grainger. Because when a drive belt gets damaged, Grainger makes it easy to find the exact specs for the replacement product he needs. And next day delivery helps ensure he'll have everything in place and running like clockwork. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This holiday season, Target has your back with irresistibly cool gifts for everyone on your list.
For the trendsetter, start with affordable beauty kits and gift sets. Need something the whole fam will love? Grab snuggly matching fits in every size and style. And for the thrill seekers, don't forget the hottest toys and tech of the season. Target's got you covered with the best deals for endless fun. Shop in store or online. And step into the holidays with Target. Restrictions apply.
Don't miss Ruthman, a heartfelt caper with a twist of romance starring Channing Tatum and Kirsten Dunst is now available on digital. For a chance to win a digital copy of the film courtesy of Map 360 Collective, enter online at 957thegame.com.
Now back to Warriors This Week on 95.7 The Game.
All right, I might be getting us into a little trouble here, Pasta. You let me know. You produce this show. You run things. You are El Capitan. This is from Bennett Roth in our YouTube chat. Evan, can you ask Risotto if he is down to play one of my beats as a bed for when y'all return from this commercial break? I don't know about this one because Pasta's got his hands in a lot, but next Saturday, because this is our last break, or are you going to queue one up right now, Pasta? See, Pasta's got a lot going on back there. I don't think people understand how hard he works. Oh, is this is him?
Oh, this works.
I like this.
Whoa, what is this? Who said this? Who wanted this?
This is from Bennett Roth. I can get down to
What's
this.
the guy's name?
Bennett Roth.
Yeah,
Bennett.
a few weeks ago, Bennett sent me a bunch of music that could be used as rejoiners, and this is one of them.
Is this Bennett actually producing or putting this together? Is he in?
I believe so.
I like this beat. Not Eric Roth, the great screenwriter, but Bennett Roth, the beat maker.
Hey, just keep this under. You can keep this under what it is that I got to say. But did you happen to see what it is that DeAndre Hunter? I like this beat. What DeAndre Hunter did to Josh Giddey?
No.
Whoa! Pasta?
I didn't see it.
He's on my fantasy basketball team, but I didn't see it.
Are you guys kidding me? Are we doing a basketball show here or what?
Dude, I was here until midnight last night. I apologize for not watching another. The only
DeAndre
Virginia
Hunter.
guy I watch is Trey Murphy.
DeAndre Hunter crossed up Josh Giddey and literally broke his ankle.
Is he hurt?
He hurt his ankle because he got crossed up. He went one way, fell on his butt pad, and DeAndre Hunter went to the rim, dunked. His entire bench went crazy. Josh Giddey had to be helped off the floor because he sprained his ankle. They literally call it breaking a dude's ankles. He broke the ankles of Josh Giddey. I advise everybody to go and watch that, as well as who was it? Buddy Hield going the wrong way for the Golden State Warriors in the closing seconds against San Antonio.
Well, actually, that makes sense because I think last game that the Bulls played was without Josh Giddey.
You just have to say, oh, wow, you really did get your ankle broken.
Okay, well, maybe Virginia does have some products. I wasn't
from Virginia?
Trey Murphy's from Virginia. Ty Jerome's from Virginia. Well, so we were talking about this during the week because Steiny was like, oh, I like this guy because he went to Virginia. And is there someone? There might be someone on the Warriors I'm missing right now.
Ralph Sampson. You said him earlier.
There is not. Yeah, no, Virginia used to have great players, but my point was he liked the guy because he went to Virginia. And my point was there's not a lot of guys that have come out of Virginia that have been very good.
Is that how you got into Ralph Sampson?
Well, yeah, because he was saying, he was like, oh, well, I like this guy because he went to Virginia. Like, don't let me find out you passed up a guy because he went to Virginia. I was like, Virginia's a fine school, but it's not a basketball powerhouse, especially now that Tony Bennett's gone. But Trey Murphy, DeAndre Hunter, those are like the two guys that I could name who I think are like legit NBA dudes.
Tony Bennett was a regular on my show.
Whoop!
If you want to know why? If you can put that together.
Well, I know he was the head coach of Washington State.
Thank you. Very good.
He was Klay Thompson's head coach.
Yeah.
So that was when you were up in Seattle?
Yeah. And his old man was the head coach. He took over for his old man.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
You know, there's
And so I asked him
a lot of nepotism right now in the college game.
First show, I asked him, I'm like, hey, can you do a little Tony Bennett, or can you give me a? Or I said something sort of sarcastic about the singer Tony Bennett, and I left my heart in San Francisco. And his first comments to me were like, "Yeah, Dan," as if I never heard that before.
Well, you're kind of a cheesy guy, so if someone didn't know you, you'd probably think you were trying to mess with them. You swing below the belt.
I remember Steiny was up in Seattle, and he said this to me, and he's like, "Yeah, I saw you." And it wasn't like, "Yeah, you were really good," and trying to be, what's so beautiful about Steiny is that he doesn't exchange the lame pleasantries. You kind of know where you sit with him. And he said, "Yeah, I saw you, and you had like a go-to line or something." Yeah, I'm like, "What?" I didn't have like it's almost as if he was like, "You're one of those guys who was like, with a cheesy boom goes the dynamite."
That's
like,
exactly what he said. You said.
Oh, is that what he said?
Yeah, he said. Yeah, I saw Devon and he did like a boom goes the dynamite thing on one of his telecasts.
I saw it, and it wasn't like I saw you on TV, man. Good job. Yeah, Dan was big out in Seattle. Good. He's like, "Yeah, I saw you. You had like some go-to line." Like, I was like, I love you and hate you at the same time. That's the most underhanded compliment ever. Like,
well, that's where
I never had. There was a dude who was
Did you have a catchphrase?
No, there was a guy named Keith Kachuk, Kachuk's father, who was a goalie, and Keith Kachuk, who was with the Coyotes, and every time he would score, because I never did NHL highlights, I would just scream his name because it was so. I was like, Keith Kachuk, and like my fans got it. And so I was like, I had fun at the expense of Keith Kachuk, and I guess that might have been a bit. But I wasn't one of those cheesy dudes who was, coming up with these lame catchphrases.
Is that a shot at Stuart Scott?
No, why?
Because he's the guy that was probably the most famous when I was growing up for having, cool as the other side of the pillow.
He did Keith Kachuk?
No, he didn't do Keith Kachuk. I'm just saying he had cool catchphrases.
Oh, no, well, your catchphrases at the end, at the network level is one thing. But if you're locally and you're throwing that, it's kind of like, come on, man.
Willie Bloomquist, the silent assassin. All right, let's go to Lou, who's in Hayward, has been hanging on patiently. Lou, I promised the red carpet. It is there for you, brother. What's going on? Good morning.
Hello?
What's up, Lou?
How you doing, man? How you doing?
I'm doing well. What do you got for us?
Good. I just want to get my thoughts, because lately I've been hearing a lot of thoughts that the Warriors are too old and how the Warriors need a center. So I wanted to put my thoughts in what I think we could do that can make us work, that can get us a ring this year, because I think right now the Warriors are looking to get a ring with Curry coming to the end of his years with Draymond. I think they're really trying to get that last ring. So what I think should happen is over the past few games, I don't know if you guys have been watching the same game as me, but Brandon Podzinski is just not that Brandon Podzinski I saw last year. I thought this year was going to be his breakout year, but I've been seeing a lot of not a lot of good things from him, So what I'm thinking is we can get rid of him, and I'm looking at a bunch of centers that we could use, like maybe like a Brook Lopez or even like Chris Boucher, someone that can come in, not take that much cap room, so that we could still have, our main players, that we're building around. Jonathan Kuminga, Moses Moody. Those are the players that we can bring up. Brandon Podzinski, what is he going to do when Melton comes back, and when we maybe even get Seth Curry back, just those are my thoughts. Just wanted to hear what y'all thinking about that.
I got you, Lou.
Oh, hey, I got a guy.
Who?
Just thought of this. He's with New Orleans. I think his name is Kevin Looney? Kevon Looney. Kevon Looney. I think that's how you pronounce it. Like, he can get rebounds for you. He's a center.
This ain't 2022, though.
They miss him, though.
They missed the old version of him.
Nah.
Why didn't he play last year, then?
Well, there are a lot of reasons why he didn't play, but when he did, he was still effective at times.
But, okay.
I'm just saying.
If you can airdrop 2022 Loon back into this team, I'm doing that. And I agree, they miss what he used to provide, which was
they miss
specifically offensive rebounding.
They're missing somebody who can offensive rebound the basketball.
Yeah, no, he was one of the league's best, but that guy, I have my doubts that guy's still around. But you never know. I mean, heck, they got rid of GP2 and then traded 5 second-round picks for him.
I'm joking. We don't want Kevon Looney back. like the last thing you need. He's not old, but he is old.
But this is where I think you're onto something, because earlier you said that the Warriors, they fail sometimes in that they don't let go of the past.
Yeah.
I could see him making that move.
Oh, God. Be better than that, Dunleavy.
925's with you. Bring him back. Loon is also ready to start hitting threes.
No.
Okay. Well,
by the way, is Jordan Poole healthy? He'll be playing?
I think he's coming off the bench for them.
I love it.
You gotta let go of, you gotta let the hate go from your heart, man. Actually, he's been out for the last 5 games. It's unfortunate. He probably would help the Warriors. Yeah, they're too small and they're too old, but they got Steph, and that's really what matters. You want to go to D in DC?
Yes.
All right, D. It's been a while, brother. What's going on, man? How are you?
What's going on, Evan? What's going on, my favorite coconut?
What's up, D?
Can't complain, man. Can't complain. Listen, man, I have one thing to say. We are a Trey Murphy or a Larry Marketing away from contending. We have to do whatever we have to do by the trade deadline to try to get one of those dudes. Either guy would work for me. If we do that, we can compete with the best of the best in the West and in the East. Chances are we'll probably even go to the finals and win the fifth ring for Steph Curry. Lake Up needs to do what Lake Up has to do. Stop being a clown and trade the young players and get off of some of the picks that he's trying to hold. I don't know why he's holding on to them when you have a megastar like Steph Curry who's still a very dominant player. So there you have it, man. That's all I have to say, brothers.
I got you, D. Hope you're well out there. So he brings up something interesting, which is why do they hold on to these picks? Because I kind of see it both ways, Dan.
By the way, Lauri Markkanen's having a hell of a year.
Everyone's having a hell of a year.
Well, he was not good last year when they wanted him.
Well, they didn't play him. They quietly just sat him the last 30 games of the season.
If you're doing well and you're in a Utah Jazz uniform, you're not going to get run.
No, but also I'm not doing business with Danny Ainge. He's going to.
Well, you can, but he's going to. The thing is you're right. It begins and ends with Danny Ainge because Danny Ainge is going to hang up on you because you don't have enough capital to interest Danny Ainge.
Well, this year they actually might, and it's what D brings up. I don't think the players are that valuable for the Warriors. Even you could think Kuminga's going to be something. He probably has the most potential. Whatever. Their picks are valuable. And they're valuable, I think, because of what we saw this last week, which is...
So they're not valuable now. They're valuable in 2027.
Yes. Yeah, but I think they have access to all of their picks until 2031. Like, if I'm a team trying to figure out what on Golden State I want to get, it's anything beyond 2028 or 2029. Yeah. Because Curry's not going to be as good. This team is not going to be very good. And those picks are going to be high. I think that's why the Warriors have held on to them. You know, they didn't give up much for Jimmy last year. It was just their first-round pick of this season. And they ended up with a guy who's probably playing like a first-round pick, at least a late first-round pick in Will Richard. So, but Trey Murphy is going to cost you. I think Larry Markkanen is obviously going to cost you. But
picks or players?
Both.
Yeah.
Yeah, both. I think that...
Well, let's just play if I'm Danny Ainge and you're Dunleavy, you're going to offer me what? That is not... Okay, whatever. What is your offer?
So it's going to be JK and then filler around him. So it could be Pods, could be Buddy, could be, I don't know, whatever money is going to get you to where Lowry is right now, which I think is like around 40. And I'm going to need probably 2 firsts and 2 pick swaps. I'm not doing that if I'm the Warriors.
Oh, I thought you were Dunleavy.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay.
Well, I'll give you JK. You know, you can have a few of these dudes, and I'll give you one unprotected.
Yeah. Dial tone.
All right. Well, let me go down to Joe Dumars in New Orleans. Hey, Joe. It's Mike D. Remember me from back in the day. You got this young guy named Trey Murphy. You just paid him. Pretty good player, but we really know you're building around Derek Queen. I mean, that's why you traded your first-round pick this upcoming year. even though it might be a top 3 pick and you were foolish to get rid of it for this guy, you're going to build around him because Zion's not it. So you might as well just give me Trey Murphy. So how about Kuminga? And we'll throw in an unprotected first and maybe a pick swap or 2.
Dial tone.
Nope. All right, well, let me go to Brooklyn. I don't know who their GM is, but he might have some piece. Like that's kind of what it's going to be like. I think the Warriors do not want to give up future draft capital. And it's as much for the reason that it's because of this week, right? You saw what happened on Sunday when they looked mainly lethargic without Curry, which, by the way, is a possibility in a couple of years. They could look a lot like that. I mean, not very good. And on Wednesday, which is if Curry doesn't have it or he's compromised in any way, shape, or form, your team's going to get blown out. So it's like, I understand where fans want to go all in at this point, but if I'm the front office, I also can recognize that this team is headed towards an iceberg, and I'm going to need some life jackets.
So the trade deadline, which is not far away. What is it? The Warriors are going to stand pat?
No, I think they're going to try and use Kuminga to find a piece that fits.
But that piece is not Trey Murphy. And so that's the thing that I think...
Trey Murphy would be great. I just don't think they can get him. But
well, that's what I mean. And so I think people have to brace themselves. Because I think the only reason why he's going to be with this team at the end of the year is that they can't find value in return, what they deem as value for Jonathan Kuminga.
That's why you think JK will stay with the team.
Yeah.
Could be. I mean, I don't think they want to give up on him, but push has got to come to shove with this guy. Like, and it's as much about him as it is the team. Like, I don't want to be sitting here. And by the way, he's eligible to be traded on January 15th, so literally 2 months from today. I don't want to be here talking about another season in which he plays 5 good games, looks lost for 5 games, plays 5 good games, looks lost for 5 games, and wondering what we're going to do. Like, I think that was the understanding from this summer, that they were going to try and put him in a place where he wants to be, and they're going to try and find a player that can come in and help this team. I think in the meantime, he's been as committed as he's ever been. I think he's done a good job at trying to mix his skill set with what they need. But like the last 4 years, it just doesn't really feel like a fit.
He just doesn't get it. And I don't know that the light will ever go on for guys like that. I don't mean to be critical of the man because he's got all the talent in the world, but it's not about talent. It's all upstairs. You and I were in an interesting discussion because usually our discussions in between breaks are like we throw a baseball at pasta.
Yeah, you ask me about OnlyFans and stuff like that.
I've never talked OnlyFans, only on the air, believe it or not. I like OnlyFans. Oh, I'm out of here. Seriously.
You got 10 minutes.
I don't even know what the hell I was saying.
We're having an interesting...
We were having a conversation about Jonathan Kuminga. Yeah. We were talking about how that athletes, in order to get to the NBA, in order to get to the NFL and Major League Baseball, you were the best in grammar school. You were the best in your state in high school. You are a rare breed, all right? You're amongst the best athletes in the world in the NBA. But in order to graduate to be a good player, forget about being a great player. It's not about the athleticism or the talent. Certainly it is to a certain degree. But it's about what's between your ears. It's how you are wired as a human being. As good as Michael Jordan is, it's Michael Jordan, the confidence that he has in big games. That's not something you learn. That's not something you teach. That's DNA. And I think that when it comes to Jonathan Kuminga, we all know what this guy can do and the potential. But the only thing that's going to inhibit that growth or that graduation to the next level, it's the mental makeup. Does he have the mentality of a star? We know he has the body and the potential physically, but does he have what it takes from a mental standpoint to be one of the best, or at least what he perceives himself as being in the NBA?
I don't think it's here. I just think there's already been too many complications. Like you literally saw it in the span of a week. It's like he regressed to being the player that he was at times last year.
I don't mean to interrupt, but you brought this up, and what's interesting to compare and contrast him to Podziemski, who isn't nearly as good as him when you talk about the raw athleticism, but
I think Pods, that's where his irrational confidence is a tool for him.
Exactly.
It's why people hate him, and it's why during the games, like, what is Pods doing? But that irrational confidence is, to me, why, if we're going to take Draymond and say that he was talking to Podziemski and Kuminga, the guys with agendas on the team, you saw one player react one way, which was Kuminga. Kind of, he looked like he was in his head, and the knee might have had something to do with it. So I'll give him a pass for now. So we're gonna monitor that. But in the moment, it looked like he was second guessing himself, like he was at points last year and throughout his first 4 years. Then you see Pods react to that messaging, and he just puts his head down and continues to play the way that has gotten him to where he is. And yes, he makes mistakes and he does dumb stuff, but he also made some winning plays last night. He made some winning plays on Wednesday night. He helped them win both of those games. It wasn't the main reason, but he helped. That, to me, is the difference of, like, where you're talking about the mental capacity, or not capacity, but like that's where the headiness, I think, impacts both of those guys. One guy has a confidence that is wavering, Kuminga, and one guy has a confidence that is completely irrational. But that's what's gotten him to where he is.
I think one guy, after missing shots and getting indecisive and not playing well, has a tendency to crawl into a hole and disappear. Whereas the other guy, that other guy being Podziemski, while he's not playing well, is always telling himself, I'm going to keep shooting it because I'm Brandon Podziemski and I'm special.
And he's not.
He's not.
But he doesn't know it.
But it's that confidence that you wish you could somehow, take a syringe and inject in Jonathan Kuminga.
Yeah. No, I agree. And I think he's going to have to try and find or conjure some of that.
Then Pasta's in trouble.
Oh, Pasta's done. Pasta's...
We literally the superintendent just came into class and is yelling at Pasta.
Shut down the operation. Pasta, well, we know he's a loudmouth, and he's probably screaming at the top of his lungs.
Is that an executive? Is that somebody I should be aware of that's now talking to our producer?
I'm going to be honest with you. I have no clue.
Pasta, you want to tell us what just happened? Did the CEO of the company just come into the
Should I know
office?
her?
No, so there's a package here for somebody that's not here, and the person who's delivering the package needs a signature, but the person's not here. So I was counsel for someone asking me what they should do.
Bring the package up right now and let's open it.
Did I just hear someone ask you for advice?
Someone asked me for advice, and I said, I don't know, and I just kept smiling.
Well, that's you.
That's
in
Pasta.
a nutshell.
He's going places, folks.
It's getting married.
Big pot. You got to stop doing that.
Adriana!
Keep, pushing all of your expectations for us on these young people. You just.
What's the line on him getting married before you?
That's messed up.
No, I was seriously thinking about it. I'd probably go like minus 300.
You're a lot like me, man, but you'll get married.
You got to be in the pool before you learn how to swim. I mean, good Lord.
But you don't have a fear of commitment, right? It's just like, I think you're...
No, women have a fear of commitment to me. All right, so that'll do it for us on this week.
I delve into that for the next 3 hours.
Yeah, Devon's going to put me on his couch. We're going to figure this thing out together. And
give me another prediction for the upcoming week since you did so well this previous week.
Oh, that's right. I got to look at this. So, yeah, even though we didn't badmouth the Warriors, but we weren't as super high on them as others. Last week I had the Warriors beating San Antonio. This week, next time we talk, they'll have played 4 games.
What are they doing against the Pelicans?
They're going to beat the Pelicans.
What are they doing against the Magic?
I think they're going to win against Orlando. They're going to lose to Miami.
Well, here's the thing. Be careful what you say about Orlando because they've turned a corner. Desmond Bane's playing much better.
Oh, my God.
What?
Then you didn't watch the game last night.
Oh, I didn't.
They were down 4 with 3 minutes left to the Nets.
They lost?
No, they won, but they were down 4 with 3 minutes left to the Nets.
All right.
Anyways, they're going to go 3-1. We're going to be talking about an 11-7 Warriors team next time we talk.
All right.
Lock it up. Of course, now they're going to go 1-3.
Exactly. You're going to go back to being, I am wrong, Evan Giddings.
All right, Dan. That'll do it for us here on Warriors This Week. Big thank you to Pasta. What is it?
Seriously?
Big thank you to Dan Devone. My name is Evan Giddings. Same place, same time next week. House of the Warriors, 95-7 The Game.
This is Dan Devone saying, so long, everybody.
Wow, look at these Black Friday deals on TVs. Samsung, Sony, and LG at the lowest prices of the year, even on their top-rated models. Now we can get that top-rated Samsung we were thinking about, but we'll need to get up early on Friday.
These are great deals, but why wait? Video Only has all these deals right now. We can get what we want today, and they're even offering no-interest financing.
So we can get these Black Friday deals right now at Video Only and pay it off later?
Yep, and many of their prices are better than those flyers.
Better than Black Friday? No wonder Video Only got those high scores when they rated TV stores. Let's head over now and beat the crowds.
At Video Only, you won't find huge stores with refrigerators or dishwashers, but you will find the best deals on the best TVs, soundbars, and home theater systems. Shop around, but then make sure you visit Video Only, because if you don't, you'll be sorry.
In Mountain View, San Mateo, Union City, Dublin, and San Rafael.
Video Only.
Hi, I'm Andy, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company. As a product development manager, I make sure every piece of fine jewelry at Shane Company is meticulously designed for quality. From 14-karat gold chains, pearl necklaces, diamond studs, and of course, dream engagement rings. We ensure each piece meets our high-quality standards every step of the way, including the smallest details. Come see for yourself. Visit us in store or at shaneco.com. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Hey, Dan Dibley here for Golden State Lumber and Showroom. Consider their Stockton Yard as the go-to resource for building professionals in San Joaquin County. With over 40 acres of premium building materials available to the public. For bigger jobs, you can count on Golden State's large fleet of trucks for timely delivery. It's their goal to keep your project on time and on budget.